Hello everyone and welcome to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. As always, my name is Cutie and we focus on Soulslikes, Roguelikes, Metroidvanias, and other adventurous speedruns. So basically, if you think it fits a show called Perilous Paths, it probably does. Now we are actually going back to our roots today. We are going to be looking at a lot of kind of Metroidvania games with some Souls-like mechanics, a couple places. So we have something really exciting. If we want to talk about the schedule a little bit, we've got Moonlight Pulse any percent. I don't know a ton about this game. I do know that you're on the back of a giant space turtle. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Followed by Yohane, I cannot pronounce this, but the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue, any percent 120 FPS. This is, I believe, based on an anime. I'm super excited for this. I don't know a ton about it, which makes it fun for me, but I do know that it's a great run. And then last and not least, Death's Gambit Afterlife. Now, Death's Gambit is a game that came out a little while ago, and then Afterlife is actually kind of a re-release or re-update to it. I actually have this installed on my desktop right now. It is in my to-play, to-run queue, so I'm going to get spoiled. I don't know much about it. I just know it's a great game, so I'm really looking forward to that with Spicy Paladin. But before we get started, a couple of things to talk about. First, we are the Monday show. We are the first show of the week. So if you're curious about what's coming up on Hotfix, make sure you check out this week's schedule and explore our full season lineup at gdq.gg/Hotfix. That way, you'll be able to see everything that's coming up, all the fun shows, all the fun runs. Make sure you pick your favorite spots, fill out your schedule. That way you can know to be there for whatever it is that you're looking forward to the most. And then one other thing that we do need to cover is, unfortunately, Awfully Silly is going to be having its finale, my partner show, in a couple of weeks, August 25th. Now, as part of this finale, the show has been on the air for roughly 4 years. Conception has done an incredible job. We are doing a bit of a special show. So if you use the command ! And I'll throw this in chat now, ! silly finale, you will get a link. And for this link, you can vote on any runs that have been on the show over the last 4 years, and they will replay and potentially recommendate or just, kind of look at those famous runs from the last 4 years. So if you're interested in that, make sure that your voice is heard. And over those 4 years, they have actually never repeated a game or a run, which as a showrunner myself, and I'm less than a year in, is incredible. I am absolutely going to repeat runs. So we need to give Conception some flowers for that. But if you're interested, go ahead and fill out that form. Make sure your voice is heard. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's do some Moonlight Pulse any percent with 8-Bit Monster and their commentator DE Cosmic. How are the two of you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much. Yes, I am 8-Bit Monster. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it. This is my first ever time running GDQ Hotfix and just GDQ in general. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's our absolute pleasure.
My name is DE Cosmic. I've watched 8-Bit run this game quite a lot, and it's pretty neat. So I am happy to be here and support him on his first time on the channel.
Cool.
Great. Yeah, well, why don't you give us a quick introduction about the game? I mentioned there was a giant turtle. I know there's some other weird stuff in this game. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see, maybe some of the mechanics or how this might be different than any other normal in air quotes Metroidvanias.
Normal.
But give us a quick little introduction, what we're in for here, and then whenever you're ready, you can give us a 3, 2, 1, and we'll get started.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it was mentioned, so this game takes place on a giant turtle floating through space, and we play as a group of 4 different characters. They're part of a group called the Curatives, and their objective is to kind of protect the space turtle from infections and monsters and things like that, because an unfortunate reality is if the turtle dies, then so too does their home, and so they don't want that to happen. And so you go on a journey with them in order to keep the turtle safe and to defeat this pretty nasty little boss at the end that is trying to basically eat the turtle. So that is kind of what the gist of the story is here. One of the things that I really love about this game, I think that makes it a very interesting Metroidvania, at least from anything I played, and I really love this genre, is that with the 4 characters, you actually play all 4 characters at the same time. As you unlock them, so you're able to freely swap between the characters as you play. So in the middle of doing a dash, in the middle of a jump, in the middle of combat, you can just freely swap to any character that you like with the shoulder buttons on a controller. Which is the preferred way to play, and so there's a lot of interesting mechanics and things that you can do with that. One quick thing is all the characters do have their own form of like dashing in this game that you slowly unlock, because unlike a lot of Metroidvanias, you don't actually pick up items as like their ability upgrades. There are cutscenes that will be automatically skipped, so you won't get to see them, where they kind of learn their new abilities, where they can dash or get some kind of new movement ability, and you'll see that as we go throughout the run. So that's kind of the gist of some of the mechanics of the game that I'd like to go over before we start. Otherwise, I'm ready to go.
Sounds good. And just for reference, we do have a lot of love for you in chat. Multiple people shouting out your name, saying you're their hero and different things. So you got a little bit of a community showing up for you here. But yeah, whenever you're ready, give us a 3, 2, 1, and we'll get going.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this file. I have a lot of saves. All right. So we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun.
Thank you so much. All right, so here we are. We're going to start off this game playing as Soulslikes. This is our first character. Soulslikes is a mole. He does get a dash ability here in just a moment. At the start, we do not currently have that, so we're going to dodge all these enemies. All right. This character is a pretty fast attacker, so here's our dash. So there is one mechanic I should have explained before we started, but as you see, I'm dashing in the air and doing that roll. If you roll in the air and then immediately turn and face the other direction, you can actually start dashing that the opposite direction from where you jumped. So that's something that we kind of use there. So here we're going to have a little bit of platforming, and then before we get there, because it'll die faster than it'll take to explain, we're going to move up here on this first boss. The first boss here is Sulfuron, where we'll also find our next partner. So the thing with Sulfuron is we try to go for a very quick kill on this boss, and the way we do that is we have to get the boss to a certain HP threshold, or there's a certain threshold we don't want to pass, basically at 400 HP. So there is a little bit of RNG depending on which ability sets the boss decides to do and what order. If we're lucky, we get the fireball first. If not, hopefully second. And if it's third, we're probably not going to get the quick kill on it. So we'll see how this goes. And we'll come up onto this here in just a moment.
Yeah, this is the first like big RNG check of the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. That's good. All right, so we're going to get him as close to 400 HP as we can without going over. And we're going to wait for him here. All right, there we go.
Nice.
This is going to be really good. Oh, almost. So you have to jump on the back here in order to keep doing damage when he floats up. If you miss that, like I almost did there. Oh no, he went immune. Okay, well now you get to see what happens. Normally this is what's supposed to happen, where Laguna comes up here. By the way, this is Laguna. This is our fox friend, or wolf. I think he's a wolf. Yep. So there we go. First boss down. All right. So we're gonna come up here. And there is going to be one skip that we're going to do here. And here you'll see the first instance of me swapping characters, because we got to kill this little infection. So Laguna has these little orbs that he shoots, so we got to climb up here. That's a skip. There's another skip here. I'll explain how this works in 1 second, as soon as I get it. There we go. So what happens there is, as you're jumping up onto that ledge, you're not supposed to normally be able to get up there. But if you do a dodge roll like this that I just did with Soulslikes, and then swap characters, right after you do that, you get just enough height when you swap to Laguna to get up there. Otherwise, you're not supposed to be up there yet. But we don't like to do things the right way, so that's what we do. All right. Okay. And so here, these little tubes that I'm going through, so these are blood vessels. So that little infection thing, the reason we have to get up on that ledge is those blood vessels are kind of the fast travel system of this game. And so we have to go through there, break those infections in order to go through certain spots. All right, now
so
the item.
In terms of, oh, I'm so sorry. In terms of scale, is this a giant turtle and we are a normal-sized fox, or are we microscopic? How big is all of this?
That is a great question. This is almost like the chicken before the egg question, I feel like, or something similar, right? I don't know what the scale of this is. I assume we are supposed to be, normal-sized creatures in a giant turtle. At least I hope. If not, maybe these are just, very many creatures. I am not entirely sure.
I have to assume, since like space was needed to house the turtle, that it's probably huge.
Yeah, it is very big. All right, so right there, I had to take intentional damage, and I was waiting for those little mosquito things to go by. So if you don't wait for them and be patient, what will happen is they will knock you all the way back down to the bottom, and that is not a good thing. You lose a lot of time on there. So that went pretty well. All right, so that item back there I picked up that I equipped. So there are equipable items in this game, like a lot of other Metroidvania style games, right? Where you have items that can modify how your characters behave. So that basically prevents poison buildup, so that I can walk those little green areas without dying very quickly. All right, so what we didn't see, I did mention previously, so there are cutscenes in this game that we do skip automatically. Those are skipped. There's an option in the menu to skip them automatically. The developers, when they made this game, had speedrunning in mind. So you can even see there is an in-game timer there on the top right. So it's pretty nice that we can skip those cutscenes automatically. So it might look jarring that we just kind of change screens sometimes, but that's what's happening. And what you missed here was getting this upgrade, this little bubble ability for Laguna. Lets it so that we can kind of bubble all these enemies and we don't have to really fight them. It's very, very useful. So we'll be utilizing that a lot throughout the run. And here. Okay.
Very nice. It's always just boop, and then they're just incapacitated entirely.
It's beautiful, yeah. And what's cool is when you real quick before I talk about that is this is an attack upgrade. You saw me get one at the beginning. I didn't explain it because it went pretty quick. These are attack upgrades. So this one specifically is for Laguna. This is so that we can do damage a lot faster. So Laguna's base attack, I believe, is 4 damage per hit, and then this will take it up to 5, and then we get we have 2 now, so we should be at 6 damage per hit. So very, very useful. We picked those up to kill some of the bosses a lot quicker. So there you can see a little bit of a skip by swapping characters very quickly at those jumps. All right.
Not for nothing, but I really like how fluid the movement in this game is.
Yeah.
It's just like seamless transitions between pretty much every form of movement, and like when runners hit this stuff seamlessly, it's just like you can't really even tell that you can't even really tell that like there's places that they're not supposed to be going because it just happens.
We have to take a little bit of a detour. I missed my jumps. This will be this. Oh, get up, please. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We take the safety checkpoint here in a second.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. What happened there was Laguna's health got depleted, but he actually has hearts that are in the bottom left corner there, so he was able to revive and just get Laguna back real quick.
All right, and that there was a skip similar to the one in the beginning that we do. Normally you have to do an annoying puzzle there. I say annoying affectionately, but so we don't want to do it, so we skip it. All right, so here, this is the second boss of the game, is a giant mosquito. Ideally, you see that little blood drop up in the top, next to his HP. So we want to try to get this boss done before that drop fills up, because then they go into a second phase, which is a little hard to deal with. But it looks like we're gonna get that, unfortunately. That's okay. So we're gonna do this a little differently.
Ooh, that was cool.
There we go. Not great, but we managed to get it through. All right. So here coming up, what you're going to see is the movement's going to start getting a lot more fun now. We got some more movement. So Soulslikes here gets his wall jump. Don't get attached to this character for very long because unfortunately, Soulslikes is now gone. What happens in that cutscene that we don't get to watch is Soulslikes gets taken over by a mind parasite, courtesy of the boss in this game, and so now he's gone, and Laguna is on their own. Laguna gets this new ability as well to be able to bubble up out of water. Now, this is one of the scarier sections of the game. This is probably like the section I like the least. So it's very challenging because, as Cosmic was kind of alluding and mentioning to, is that about the lives in this game. So basically, if any character ever gets a 0 HP, instead what happens is one of the other characters will jump in and save them and put them at 1 HP, and then you lose one of those hearts, one of the lives. And if those lives are ever at 0, and then one of the characters is to die, you unfortunately get a game over, even if the other ones are fine. So here, what makes this so hard is that Laguna is on his own, so there are no characters to save him, so there are no lives. So if I take a death here, we have to go back to one of those little checkpoints that we've been seeing with the little camps. All right, and then this enemy here is, oh, that was nice, thank you. One of the worst enemies in the game. Those Laguna cannot damage, so you have to bubble them or run past them really fast. They do 18 damage a hit and are very dangerous. Okay, so here we're gonna do our first and only puzzle, to my knowledge. So we have to use this little bubble ability to move this little platform around. So we can get it up top and be able to jump up so we can move on. We're on our way to get our next character. Our next buddy that is going to help us out. The next person that we are going to be getting is a character named Charlotte. Charlotte's a cool character. She's a lamb. I'm pretty sure that's what she's supposed to be. So yeah, we're on our way to do that. So here we're gonna see a little bit more just pretty standard movement here. Nope, that didn't work. But we're coming up on the very first arena fight in this game. So there's multiple arena fights in this game that you have to do. So the idea here is just to defeat all these enemies as quickly as we can, as optimally as possible. And we know where they all spawn, so it becomes pretty simple to do. Okay.
You can also tell that it's an arena fight just because of how the background has actually changed here as well to reflect that like it's a forced fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one thing you'll notice too when those backgrounds change like that, that's kind of the big boss of the game. They're kind of like warping reality, like I kind of mentioned before. And what's cool is when that happens, the edges of the screen actually loop around. You don't really get to see it in that fight much because of the walls, but it'll be utilized later on, that looping with damaging and fighting in those arenas. It's very cool. Okay.
I really like the little town here as well. The little town's cool.
It's very quaint. I would live here. All right, so there we go. There's our new character. That is Charlotte. So the cool thing about Charlotte, her special ability is that she can grip onto ledges because I guess she has opposable thumbs or something. I'm not sure. So we do that. So that's what her thing is. She also has a whip for her weapon. So that whip is very strong. It is a very good. We use it for a few places, but for the most part, we still use Laguna for his attack abilities. All right, what we're gonna do now though is we gotta head all the way over to this very bottom of this map here of the turtle, so that we can get an upgrade for Charlotte, which is what is it called? Like a grapple point, I think is what it's called. Oop. It lets you grapple up on ledges, so it's very useful. I'm gonna be safe here because I missed my cycles. All right, there we go. Okay, and kind of speaking of cycles in this game, they're some of them are fixed. It feels like they don't trigger until you hit the area. Others feel global. So how fast you go in this game sometimes is a good or bad thing. I still haven't quite figured that out. All right, so here's another couple item that we just picked up. That's the storm orb. So that allows Laguna's little orb that we use to bubble people to go faster, charge faster. So yep, and then what you saw there too was falling in this game is slow. So we speed it up by switching to Charlotte and whipping. That makes you fall a lot faster. And here is the grapple that I was telling you about. Now falling fast in this game, that is a pretty quick way, but there is a faster one, which we will arrive to very shortly. So I'm gonna take 2 seconds here to focus on this little part because I don't want to fight these enemies, and I mess this up a lot. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so right there, you want to bubble all those enemies and bubble them in that order that I did, because sometimes what ends up happening is I accidentally shoot upwards, because every time you go to bubble, you shoot a little droplet as well. And sometimes I aggro the enemy above, and it's not a good time. You have to fight all those. They do a lot of damage. It's very, very difficult, so we avoid that. All right.
what goes on in these cities that we're skipping? Is there any sort of shop or merchant or currency? Are there side quests or anything fun going on there? Or they're just kind of there?
They are kind of just there as part of the world. There are, let me think, there's side quest. There's not really well, there is one side quest in this game, sorry. But normally no, so there's no side quest really. There is one for like filling out, there's a journal of like all the enemies. There is a character where you can talk to that will, that you can get stuff from by doing that, but we don't do anything related to that in this run. So these are mostly just for lore purposes, to see what's going on. Yeah, so. Yeah. They just look nice. So here, we are now going up to the top of the turtle's back to the peaks. This is where Charlotte is from. So before Charlotte will continue to help us, Laguna resolves to help Charlotte to save her village from this entity that terrorizes them. So that's what we're gonna go do now. And here we have another arena fight. We're going to be getting an item here. This is the reason we do this arena fight. And so what the item we're looking to get here is this character makes cookies. Sounds nice, right? Well, the cookie we're gonna buy from this character is a spoiled cookie. And this spoiled cookie is going to be used to basically poison the next boss so that we do not have to, the fight is a lot shorter. All right, so we're gonna buy this. And we have to equip this item to Charlotte for when we go ahead and start that fight. So Laguna gets another ability now here. Now we can bounce on things. And what you're gonna see here is if you're falling, that is faster. And we swap characters really quickly, otherwise you do this little bounce animation at the bottom. Okay.
You really got a spoiled cookie from Wendy's to poison the boss. That's nuts, dude.
I mean, the cookie looks pretty good, right? You'd eat it, right?
I mean, perhaps, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like this boss should know better by now.
Well, the boss doesn't really get a choice. We're just gonna feed it to her, I think. I think that's how this works.
That's fair.
Just thinking about the logistics, because everyone's animals of like butter and eggs and how you make a cookie and how the animal society is doing that. Like, I have a lot of questions right now.
You're also asking a lot of questions I don't know how to answer. You're right. That's a good point. I can only imagine.
I never stopped to think about, how does the rat justify this? I mean, I guess the rat justifies it because it's a rat, but how does like a lamb justify this? A lamb, exactly. a lamb related to the Belmont clan, no less.
Yeah, well, you know what? I never really thought about that. That is a pretty like interesting. It kind of does look a lot like one of the Belmont friends.
Charlotte grew up on one of the Belmont farms in between Dracula cycles.
Raised from birth.
I've been brainstorming for the last 5 minutes. Like, is it Bell Lamb or Lambmont? Like, I don't know.
Okay, so warning, this is a really strange boss. This is why we feed the cookie. We break through her hand, and now we're in her eye. It's a little weird.
The eye leads to the hand.
Yeah, that's how anatomy works, right? You can just climb into someone's giant hand and get to their eye, right?
True.
All right, so one of the things I'm doing here as well that you might have noticed is as I attack, I'm doing an attack input, and then I'm also jumping and then attacking in the air and then landing and attacking again. The reason I'm doing that, and it kind of looks funny, is it allows you to attack quite faster. Oh, that's good RNG. We want that first. And we got a really quick kill on the boss.
Very clean.
Yep.
Chat's making a good point. We started this game where you were trying to hit a 400 HP breakpoint, and now this boss has over 1 million health. It went from 0 to 60 real fast.
This run goes from 0 to 60 very fast as well. Yeah, so if that is the only boss with that much HP, the rest of them are normal amounts. That one, when I first got to this casually, I saw the health bar after that happened and went, what? I can't do 1 million damage. I was like, is this like an unbeatable fight? And then I got in the eye and I was like, it's just weird. Oop.
To be fair, if somebody hit my eye with a bullwhip, I would probably be suffering a lot of damage.
I would be very upset.
Tanky I was too. Yeah, I'd be quite put out, so to speak.
Same.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the biological cause for pink eye, right? Like, this is what happens.
Absolutely.
Something crawled into your hand, now it's in your eyeball.
Canonically, this is how pink eyes are now, and if whenever it happens, as my kid grows older, if she ever gets pink eye, this is what I'm gonna explain to her. Like, well, it's because, and yeah, my wife's not gonna like that.
A lamb remained to the Belmonts. Climbed in your eye.
Ooh, that was good. Whew. Sometimes I get hit by that little monster there. This is part of like the cycling thing I was telling you about. Those little, I think they're supposed to be like, what? I think those are germs. Like there's a drawing or something out there of these things like in real life. I don't know what quite what they are, but sometimes they jump into times you don't want them to, and they like to be very friendly and mess you up. So luckily that one did not do that at that time. Oh, that was really bad luck. Okay, so these little things, if you hit that little red spot on their little tail, those are kind of like what is that thing? Like a Neptune's drop or whatever that thing is, like a really hard piece of glass. That's what those are. So if you hit the tip right there at the end, they will explode and they do a lot of damage. Yeah. Okay.
I think the Laguna Charlotte movement has to be my favorite in the whole game.
Oh.
It's just so cool.
Oh, not when I do that, because
And that's however
we're taking
again,
a detour.
okay, she's also related to Alucard. Okay.
I was
sure.
gonna say that was
we got the
Batman
bat
right
wings.
there.
That's true.
I forgot.
Charlotte just in the air like, I'm vengeance.
Okay, hold on one sec. Okay.
Just swoops down onto the little fire monsters.
It doesn't look like Batman. Yeah, sorry. So sometimes what happens, the reason I fell there is when you grab the ledges like that with Charlotte, if you do not, you actually have to push up on the either the D-pad or the joystick to actually climb up. And if you swap to the character too soon before you climb up, Laguna can't grab ledges, so you just fall. And that's what happened. So we're good. All right, just a little detour, taking a scenic route.
That is a neat detail though. That like, yeah, the animal with the non-opposable thumbs cannot grab the ledges.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense actually.
Oop. Not great on the arena fight this time, but we're doing fine. All right, so here, this is where I told you where the wraparound is really useful now, because now these can wrap around and do damage for me when I can't reach them. So there we go.
Such a cool strat.
It's so awesome. The first time I saw that, I was like, man, that's brilliant. I was like, that's really good. Because I did not think about doing that when I played this the first time. All right, so yeah, so the movement in this game is absolutely my favorite. Like Cosmic was saying, once we start getting, oh, of course you're gonna do that. When we get Charlotte, there's so much that you can do with the whip and the grapples and stuff. So, but yeah, so here we are. The reason we come all the way down here and do all this stuff is to unlock a few things, but we have to get to our next character. So we're getting our next friend. This is a dog. His name is Clyde. He's a grumpy old looking dog, but he pilots a mech. Yep, a mech.
As they do.
You guessed it or not. The dog has a mech and it shoots flames. It has a flamethrower on it, which is very useful. That is how we are going to do a lot of damage to the final two bosses of this game. So yeah, you're about to see some crazy stuff with that character. But otherwise he doesn't really get used that much. Oop.
I feel like I'd be less allergic to dogs if they all piloted mechs, to be honest.
Honestly, that'd be pretty cool. I wish my dogs had mechs, or not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, at least then they'd be able to dig like their own bones, to be honest. Like dig for their own bones. A lot easier.
All right, so that thing right there was a health upgrade, in case you were curious. So there are 4 attack and health upgrades for all the characters in the game, but we don't really need them. But we get that one just because of the fact that it is in the way of where we're trying to go. That one we do get. That is the final attack upgrade. The final attack upgrade for Laguna. Clyde has that ability where you can shoot that tether between 2 points, and it creates like a little walkable bridge. So that is a pretty useful ability that we will use a few times here. And the movement in this game is about to get is really going to start picking up a little bit more here. You're going to see a lot more of swapping between them. What makes it a little difficult makes this a little bit more difficult now is that instead when I swap characters, I am no longer just able to hit one of the shoulder buttons and swap to the other character. Now, that's fine. We take that. Now I have to be mindful of who is to the left and right of the portrait of the character I'm currently on, because that determines which direction, which character I will swap to based on the shoulder button that I push. So now you have to be a lot more cognizant of what buttons you're pushing instead of just hitting whichever one is convenient to you. So it kind of made learning this a little bit difficult and getting the buttons down. So yeah, but pretty fun still. All right, we don't want to hit these. They do a lot of damage. And coming up here, we are going to rescue Soulslikes. So he's finally back here shortly, but we have to fight him before we get him back. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right, so we have to do this little arena fight first. And now you're going to see one thing you didn't get to see with Charlotte here. Charlotte is probably the highest DPS character in the game, but only if you get hit with the very tip of the whip. So if you hit with the tip of the whip there, you do a lot more damage. So that character is very good. So that's what we're going to do to utilize beating this boss very quickly. Ooh, missed that. Oh, that's bad. Well, hold on. Let me focus for 1 second. Okay. All right. So we're going to preemptively bubble him here.
This is like Soulslikes if you were Shadow the Hedgehog, by the way. It's just effectively what this character is.
I never really...
Dude, if he pulls out the toolie, it's over, dude. If he pulls out like we're done.
Oh, that's what happens when a character dies. Just as a heads up.
He is moving.
Yeah, he moves fast.
I can't tell if this would be really fun or really frustrating to play casually.
It's fun.
It'd be frustrating.
Okay.
Fun but frustrating.
So this is the hardest section of the game. I will explain as much as I can before I have to really focus. But basically, the whole goal here is we get teleported. Lot of story stuff, but we get basically teleported to another creature that suffered the fate that ours will suffer if we do not save them. So this creature has been consumed and is unfortunately passed. So we are stuck here and have to find our way home. So we have to collect these 15 orbs that you see I'm picking up. And there's a lot of tight platforming, a lot of enemies, and it is very easy to die here. So I'm going to do my best not to do that, because if you do die, you have to reset this whole level and start collecting all those orbs once again. And I do not want to do that. It is not very fun. So we're going to do one new skip that I learned here for a quick bounce. Oop, did not get it, but that's fine. Nice. Still quick.
That was cool too.
And here we have to do a very fast swap. We're going to be dangerous. Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely like some of the most precarious platforming in the game. Nice movement. Excellent.
Right here. Okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, almost fell. That's fine. Recovered. All right. Now this section, this part right here coming up. I don't know how I still dodged that. That was crazy. This part I do not like. Right here, so you see that giant lizard thing right up there, the little salamander, whatever that thing is. So he shoots that little, whatever that little like spike thing is. So, if you get hit by that, what happens is your character gets tethered, and they get stuck, and you can't swap characters, which is very unfortunate when I need to be swapping very quickly. So that's good. Here. We get the most broken ability in the game. So Soulslikes, now that we have him back, there's a side effect of being controlled by the Mind Parasite. He can kind of also rip through space and time and teleport. We're going to be safe here because I don't want to mess this up. We're going to kill these. Yes.
Yeah, this completely changes like the way that you path in this game, because now like, you know, we're not going A to B to C anymore. It's just A to B, or it's really like A to D now.
Yep.
Because Soulslikes just rips through every wall, and you can even just, you know, rip through like these solid objects here. It's not necessarily like you have to go on the path. There's so much like, you know, potential for small sequence breaks here and there.
Oh, by the way, there's a spider.
This boss too. Yeah, there's a spider too, by the way. His name's Ragnar. The boss that the character you start this fight with is to the left of whoever you selected as you entered the fight. So 8-Bit started on Soulslikes here because Clyde is going to be to the left of Soulslikes. So he's on the mech now, burning the spider. I feel like if Airbud had a mech, he'd also be way cooler.
Oh, this boss is not being very nice. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Whew, okay. That is the hardest section of the game. I really despise that section. It's very fun, but it is very difficult. Yeah, so what I didn't explain as well, is like there was that oily ink upgrade that I grabbed as part of that section, and I equipped it to Laguna. What that does is as you hit an enemy with one of Laguna's attacks, what happens is it makes them vulnerable to fire damage, which Clyde does, and that is the only way for Clyde to be able to actually crit someone. And because the flamethrower attack is very quick, that's why we do that. So we constantly swap between them to keep that vulnerability up so that Clyde can do more damage than intended. Well, not intended, but very fast. All right.
You certainly burned through the boss, so to speak.
Oh, I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, doggone it, 8-Bit. I thought you had something.
All right, so we are going through the final section of the game now before we get to the last boss. Trying to be mean to me. So what's going to happen here is there's a lot of reality bending things that occur, a lot of teleports, a lot of times where we have to run to one side of the screen and then back to the other for it to change. Oops. Yep. One important mechanic as well with Soulslikes with the teleport. Yes, it's very overpowered, but their one drawback to it is the fact that you can only teleport once without touching the ground. So if you teleport and you jumped, you have to touch ground again before you can actually use it again. So, all right, take out city enemies. This is one of the final arena fights we have to do. We have one more after this. Yep.
Those guys just really wanted to spawn like at the most inconvenient location every time.
Oh, this is
like Laguna is not the character that you want to be DPSing on, but with the way that these enemies spawn every time, like you pretty much just have to use Laguna, which is not optimal, but it is needed.
I did that just so I didn't take damage there, because again, since you don't take a lot of health upgrades in this game, sometimes two hits, it will kill a character. So yeah, you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, like Charlotte started out with like 35 health, and now she's only at 41. Like, you don't gain a lot in the run in terms of levels.
I got to. Ooh,
nice.
Almost got sniped.
I respect it. And that was like half of Laguna's health right there. That was a lot of health there.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah. Those spikes are terrible. I really despise them. That character sometimes will have. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Sometimes what happens is that that enemy will shoot those spikes, and they will follow you to this screen, even though they shouldn't, but they do. All right, this is the final arena section, by the way. So we are coming up here at the end of the run. We're gonna finish burning these, and then we'll go fight the final boss. It should hopefully be very quick. So let's see. Basically, what's gonna happen in this final fight is I will be using the same strategy I did with Ragnar. So we're gonna do a little bit of wraparound and cheat that so we don't have to run across. All right, that's Goldrin. Say bye. We see him twice. Bye. All right.
Bye.
This is the final fight, by the way. So this is Effie. Effie is a giant praying mantis. Well, they look giant, but in reality, they're actually pretty small. About the same size of our characters, actually. But they can warp time in reality, so it looks a lot bigger than it really is. So you see some of the mechanics of this. Pretty good.
He's actually going to stretch the game out here in a second. Yeah, there it goes. The aspect ratio.
Yep.
Me when I have to start a game in 640 by 480p resolution.
when you play old games. Okay, so here, I'm warning you. I hope I don't actually lose a character here, but if I do, I'm warning, it's very violent. The character will die forever permanently, but it looks like I'm okay.
But he's good.
Sometimes if the character gets caught there, if you know anything about praying
FB
mantises.
just bites their head
Yep,
off.
their head
he
goes
just bites
goodbye.
their head
It's
off.
very unfortunate. They die
Yeah.
permanently, which you don't want.
I hate to see it.
And that's time. Sorry. Time is at the end of that. Sorry. I really focused on that fight. Woo.
GG's.
All right.
Nice.
Does the if you lost a character during that fight, does it affect the? It doesn't seem like we had an ending, but we're in speedrun mode. So does it affect the ending? Do they come back later somehow? Or they're just dead and the game ends.
So I won't spoil too much. I would encourage everyone to please go play this game and find out for yourself. However, I will say they do die permanently. There is a cutscene at the end that gets skipped automatically. And it is probably one of the saddest things I've seen in a while. So if that does happen when you play it, get some tissues. It's very, very, very bad. Yeah.
And here's our turtle.
Yep. This is our turtle. This is who we were saving. And here's some final stats of the screen. Not much to explain here. I would explain what this chart is. It's basically the turtle has health and that you can increase throughout the game. And on the final fight, you actually fight on top of the heart of the turtle. So if that ever that's like a second health way to lose in the game. So if that health ever gets to 0%, the turtle will die. We don't see the meter throughout the game because we skip all the cutscenes and things that would trigger that. So yeah.
So how close were you in the final fight? It says 7%. Like, was there a risk that could have gone to 0?
Oh no. If it was at like 1%, yes. But I've got you start the fight at let's see. It's not quite 60%. Well, I think it is 60% when you start, but there's a lot that happens that causes that to drop down like 30% or something like that, or 40. So because we do the fight fast enough, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you so much for showcasing that. That was a lot of fun. A lot of mechanics that were very interesting, story, thematically, and otherwise. But why don't you take a moment to both of you to tell us, the good people, where they can find you, where they can learn more about you, if you have a Discord, if you have any people that you want to shout out from the community,
Sure.
anything, everything. This is your chance.
All right, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. The only place that you can find me is at twitch.tv/8bitmonster, just as my name is written on the screen. I stream every so often, but I have a pretty busy life, so I stream when I can, and I kind of just do speedrun stuff now. So I've only been speedrunning for 4 months now, so this is the second game I've learned. But I'm very thankful for all the support and encouragement I've had to get into speedrunning. So I want to do one quick shout out, or a few shout outs, but one of the big ones was to Covert Muffin, who some of you might know. He's kind of the reason why I started speedrunning when I met him at GDQ this year, and kind of very, very seriously took me and said, you're going to play Ori and the Blind Forest. I have not speedrun it yet, but it did get me into doing speedrunning. So thank you so much to Covert for that push to do this. And thank you to all the friends that I met through GDQ. They've been very encouraging and getting me to continue to play. So that's been very nice. And a shout out to the community for this game and to Seafloor Games who made this. I love this game so much. It's very fun. Thank you specifically to Woo Siegel, who's one of the other runners of this game that runs this category, whose run I watched to learn how to play this. I learned a lot from doing that. And also to White Paws, who does the 80% easy run of this game, who I took some routing from as well. So I appreciate that. And last thing I would like to say on my long spiel here is a big shout out and thank you to Cosmic. I really appreciate that you're here helping me with this and all the encouragement that you gave me to push for this game. I was only playing this with the intention to get like a 35-minute time and to put it in my repertoire of speedruns that I would like to accomplish. And when I did that, Cosmic said, "Nah, I bet you could get 33 minutes." And then went, "No, I bet you could get the world record." And I was like, "Nah, that's not possible." And then I did. So thanks to the pushing and help from that and the encouragement. So Cosby, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that's all I have.
Yeah, I mean, awesome job, dude. This was a lot of fun. So thank you for asking me to come on and do this. And yeah, I mean, I'm always about encouraging people to get better and to keep pushing. And I mean, if you're having fun, you might as well keep playing, so that's always cool.
Yep.
But again, my name has been DE Cosmic. I hope everybody enjoyed Moonlight Pulse.
Yep.
I don't watch a lot of Metroidvania runs, but this one's pretty dope. So you should all check it out more. Yeah. If you like action games and stuff like that, like Devil May Cry, I'll be playing Ninja Gaiden 4 when that comes out. I'm currently playing a lot of PS2 action games, notably 10,000 Bullets, which is cool. You can find me at DE Cosmic on Twitch and DE Cosmic Runs on YouTube. So thank you again to Cutie and Games Done Quick for having us on.
And one last quick thing. Sorry, I forgot to say, if anybody does want to actually learn how to play this game or is interested at all, join the Discord for Seafloor Games. That is where all that occurs. And if you need help with this game, I have no problem teaching anyone or discussing about this game. We would love to have more people play this. All right, that's it.
Sorry. Well, thank you both. No, not at all. Thank you both so much for being here, for showcasing this. Speaking of community, for anyone looking to get more involved with the GDQ community and speedrunning in general, you can join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role to stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. So use !Discord in Twitch chat to get a link to that. And now is a great time to do that because we're going to go to a quick break as we bring in, and I apologize again, I will learn the pronunciation during the break, Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue in all caps, any percent 120 FPS with drywall and free fall. That's going to be an amazing run. I'm super looking forward to that. So stick with us. But while you got a few minutes, go check out the Discord. It's a fun place to be. But we'll be right back. Hello everyone and welcome back to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. As always, my name is Cutie and we are in the middle of an incredible episode featuring a number of indie Metroidvania type games. We're moving on into our second run of the evening, but before we do that, let's go ahead and quickly talk about something GDQ has coming up next, which is going to be a return to PAX West from August 29th to September 1st. So you can visit gdq.gg/PAX West to check out the schedule, all the runs we have going on there. And you can visit west.paxsite.com to learn more about the event, whether you're looking to attend, to visit, anything like that. Hopefully, you'll be able to have some fun, support the GDQ community, and watch some amazing runs. I'm really looking forward to that in the next month. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and move on to, and I did get the correct pronunciation during the break, so I can do this confidently, Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue, any percent, 120 FPS with drywall and free fall. How are you two doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm very excited to show this game off. I think it's been showed off on a hotfix before once. I am Drywall, as you may know. And do you have anything to say, Joey?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Should be fun. First time this game's been on GDQ in any capacity, I think. So this should be really cool.
Well, according to chat, you have very many fans, so I think people know who you are. Don't worry about that. But if you want to give us a quick introduction or anything like that, and whenever you're ready, just give us a 3, 2, 1, and we can hop into it.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I am Drywall. I actually mostly speedrun Sonic games, but I'm a big fan of the series this is based off of, which is Love Live. It's an anime series. It has lots of music, and it also has, as you can see, a funny dog.
And for those who were with us, 10 minutes ago, we did have another, I guess for lack of a better term, funny dog. So we do have a bit of a theme going today. I'm very excited. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get started.
Yep. I'll be ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun.
Thank you.
All right. So, Yohane is a 2D Metroidvania game. This came out a couple years ago, and there are a lot of really interesting mechanics. Right off the bat, you can see Drywall sliding along the ground. It looks like one continuous slide, but actually what Drywall is doing is timing the slide chains. There's a very small window to do that. So it can be quite difficult, but you do it all over the game, so you get very used to it. Right here, we're going to be opening up these chests. So these contain materials. Right away, we're going to use the materials to cast a weapon. This is the guitar, and we use that to cut through those vines, and we're also going to use it for a lot of the combat in the early game. So as we go through the dungeon, we're breaking these pots, and you can see the different materials that we gather whenever we break things. For example, we're looking for a lot of money as we go through the game. that's all determined by RNG. We're looking for materials, like I already mentioned, to craft certain things. And on top of that, we have these warp rooms, which Drywall is entering right now. So each area of the game has a warp segment, almost all of them. There's one in any percent that does not. But most of the areas in the game have these warp segments where we can get anywhere from 2 to 5 rooms per warp segment. That's also determined by RNG. So the way it works is there's like a pool of rooms that the game can choose from, and it chooses as few as 2 of them and how should I say, up to 5. So ideally we want to see only 2 rooms per warp segment, but we're going to be seeing a lot more than that. This one was 3, so not too bad. So yeah, whenever we enter one of those blue portals, we're looking for good RNG. We want a few rooms, and the rooms that we do get, we want them to be short ones.
Absolutely. We are coming up on the first boss here. This is just like a big red anglerfish guy. You can get multiple hits off, like as you can see I did there, if you hit him while he's spawning rocks out of his mouth.
Yeah, so Drywall is using the guitar in combination with Lilaps, which is the name of the funny dog. He is she, I believe. She is the first support character that we have unlocked, and we're going to be unlocking a bunch more support characters, including one coming up in this next room here now that we completed the first area. We're going to be unlocking Chika Takami. So if you're familiar with Love Live Sunshine, basically as we complete areas of the game, we're going to be unlocking more members of Aquars, and they have different abilities. For example, Chika is able to shoot a cannon shot that stuns enemies and also helps move objects out of our way. And so now we have both Lilaps and Chika that we can use as a support character. But yeah, like I was mentioning, a lot of the combat in the early game is that attack switching that Drywall was doing, where you swipe with Lilaps, and then during the cooldown of Lilaps, you use the guitar, and then back to Lilaps, so you like alternate back and forth to deal damage really fast.
Yeah, one thing I do want to mention is a lot of stuff in this game is random. The damage rolls I do and receive are random, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so one thing you have to be really careful of is your HP, because yes, every hit that you take in this game has a chance of critting.
Oh.
And also, yeah, we'll go down here.
Yeah, we backtrack there. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Things can just do a lot more damage than you're expecting, and so you have to be very mindful of where your health is at. And so one thing Drywall did just a few moments ago was enter the save room. There was a lighthouse that refills your health, and there are plenty of those in the map. A lot of them, though, in any percent, we're going to try to skip as much as we can. There are a few that are like absolutely necessary if you want to avoid dying, but for the most part, we're going to be trying to skip as many save points as we can, save as much time as possible. Here, we're going to be going for a sequence break. So he's using the guitar through the air to slow down his descent and barely make it onto this platform. Very nice. So yeah, this is going to get Sea Deity's Charm, which allows us to traverse underwater. We're supposed to be getting that way later in the game. Not way later, but quite a bit later. Using the double jump ability. But since we have it early now, we'll be able to go back to Grotto, which was that foresty area that we were just in, and do that earlier than we're supposed to. For now, though, we're heading into, we're in ruins. We are fighting this beetle enemy. So this is considered the boss of ruins. Each area has like one main boss that you have to defeat. Ruins is unique though, because this boss is one that you just fight in 3 different phases and 3 different rooms. So as we travel through this area, we're going to be seeing him pop up again.
Now, I know this is based on an anime. How much of the music is amazing? I don't know how much Chad is getting the music, but how much of this artwork, music, etc. comes from the anime versus is an expanded universe?
Basically, the whole thing is an expanded universe, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, all the music in the game, apart from, there's like one vocal theme that is... I mean, does it appear anywhere else, Drywall, in Love Live, or is it just this game?
It's a single, so it appears on their discography, but not anywhere else, no.
Basically, the only thing from the anime in this game are like the characters.
Okay, and
they do have like original
the
voice
reason I
actors,
ask
though.
is I run a Full Metal Alchemist game where they basically ripped everything directly from the anime. So I'm always curious, like, how much of it is like asset swapping and repurposing versus original.
Yeah, it's actually like completely different. It has a completely original story that we will be skipping entirely. And I love the sprite work as well.
Yeah, the sprite works really good. This is made by Inti Creates, if anyone is familiar, and they're a pretty reputable like indie company. Yeah, Viola mentions an interesting fact about this game. So it was actually originally teased as an April Fool's joke in 2022 or something. Like, they just put out a teaser for this game, and then they're like, April Fool's, not actually happening. And then like months later, they're like, actually it is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're on another warp segment here. This is your first room, right?
Yep.
Okay. So hopefully this could be the last one potentially. That'd be pretty quick.
You've probably noticed I've been doing a lot of damage boosting as well. There are many places where getting damage is just way faster as long as you have the health to tank it. But once again, all the damage rolls in this game are random. They're not completely random. They can range from 0.4x the damage, the base damage, to 2 times the base damage. So I have to be really careful judging where I want a damage boost.
For sure, yeah. And that was another 3-room warp segment. So we're 3 and 3 right now. That's pretty good. Definitely above average. And yeah, so I haven't really explained this fight too much. Basically, whenever he puts his shield up, we're switching to Chica and shooting it. And then when he's vulnerable, we're switching back to Lilaps and doing the attack chaining that we've been doing.
You're not supposed to be able to hit him through the shield with Chica, like actually do damage. But if you position yourself very close to him, then you can pierce and do like the 10 base damage she's supposed to do, which is not much at all, but still.
Yeah, that was a very clean fight too. He does his like super right at the end where he jumps into the middle of the room. But Drywall was really quick to get him before he was able to get that attack off. And now we unlock Kanan Matsura. He's not too useful. She spawns this toad that can break blocks like this. That's about it. I mean, I think we're gonna use her here, yeah, to defeat those enemies. So those enemies are a little special because they have a chance to drop an aiming lens, which is a pretty important material potentially. If we get enough of them, we're going to be able to craft the analytic spectacles, which is going to increase our crit rate by a lot. And being able to one-shot enemies and also defeat bosses a lot faster is very useful.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though it ups our crit rate, once again, everything's a roll. So whether I get the crit boost or not, it's just up to fate, I guess.
So there's another save point that we definitely want to take there because we're in Sunken Volcano now, and this is, for as early as we are in the game, this is like a pretty late stage area, I would say. Like, these enemies are very powerful. Falling in the lava is going to do a lot of damage, so we want to avoid that. So pretty scary. Maybe the scariest part of the run, to be honest, or one of. So we're on to our third warp segment. Another aiming lens. That's really good.
I have both aiming lenses I need to make the crit item. Unfortunately, I do need more materials, so hopefully I get those. But I'm good on that front.
Yeah. Sunken Volcano marks kind of the point in the run where you want to be looking out for Buster Sword materials. So we've been using the guitar the whole time so far. We want to be able to craft the Buster Sword in a few minutes here. We need specifically 5 Tide Lights, they're called, and 3 Great Axe fragments in order to do that. And Tribal's been on the lookout for those.
I have 1 Tide Light right now. Oh, that was really close getting damaged. Oops. But I didn't, though.
We're good.
Also,
Yeah, we're really
4
good on
rooms.
health. 4 rooms, not the best, but still okay. We're able to skip. There's a save point if we go down here, but Drywall is so good on health that we're able to skip that one. And that one saves a lot of time to skip. So Great Axe fragments are dropped by these guys here. So we're gonna hope that we see at least one of. Okay,
cool.
We got one of them. That's good. Hopefully we get 2. That'd be awesome. Nice.
I have a lot of
Okay.
health, though. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, took a hit in there, but we're still good on health. Got to be a little careful. So yeah, in Sunken Volcano, we're here right now to collect the double jump, and then basically we're gonna warp out of here. We just need the double jump, which is coming up shortly. Really good that we got 2 Great Axe fragments, though. That means we're probably gonna be able to skip having to farm for them later. So yeah, we're gonna take this elevator up, do 1 more room after this, and then we'll have our double jump. And we'll work back to Grotto, which we've already seen. We're gonna go back and finish that up. So yeah, the way that any percent works is there are 8 areas, 8 main areas. We have to defeat the boss in each of them, unlock the 8 Aquars members. And then after that, we're able to unlock the final area of the game. And like I said earlier, we did that sequence break to get CDD's charm, and you can see that's why we have this bubble around us, and we're able to go underwater. So that's why we needed that.
It's true. I also... Yeah,
No,
this
go
is
ahead.
more warp rooms, and I also have 2 Tide Lights, 2 fragments, which is really good for right now, actually.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on materials. You always like to see that. I think this is our 3rd room here.
If you're interested, there is a chat copy pasta going on that says post this prawn if you love John.
Let's go. We all love John, and we all love Prawn. As you can tell, there are many in this game. Big fan of that.
This room is pretty notorious. Oh, we're getting 5 rooms.
Yes. Whoop.
I love 5 rooms. Yes.
Oops.
We have so many aiming lenses. What the heck? Oh, double Tide Light?
I got crit. That is
Okay.
unfortunate. That is, once again, that is the only roll that would have killed me there. But we do have the music score, which is good in this situation because my run is not immediately over.
Okay, yeah, so the way dying in this game works is if you have a music score, it will revive you, and you'll also get a buff that basically means you have 100% crit rate. Ideally, in the speedrun, you go the entire game without dying, and then there's a boss rush at the very end, and you would die intentionally there to use the score. But for all the reasons that we've already kind of talked about, the random damage rolls, the crit rates, it's very hard to make it through the game without dying, so it would have been very impressive if he kept his score, but it's all good. We're prepared for this.
Yeah, you can do the boss fight without the music score. It's fine. It's a little difficult, but I should be fine. I've been practicing it. And here I'm gonna buy some items. I don't have very much money. That's unfortunate. I bought 2 talismans, which up my offense, and 2 healing potions, which I'm definitely going to need now just in case, since I don't have that backup score.
For sure, yeah. All right, this boss is pretty cool. It's got 3 phases to it. First thing Drywall's going to do is craft a ruby ring, which is going to up our defense, and then use that use one of the talismans he just bought to help get rid of the boss faster. But basically the way this boss works is every time it changes color, it enters a new phase and starts doing all of its attacks faster than before. So you have to be mindful of what phase it's in order to deal with it properly. Follow it to the left side of the screen. Now we're in the final phase. The nice thing too about the attack chaining is that it suspends you in midair. So instead of having to jump and attack, jump and attack, jump and attack over and over, we can just stay right in front of the boss and deal damage super quick. So that was pretty good.
And that sprite work was just fantastic. No notes. I loved everything about that.
Yeah, this is a very, very visually appealing game. They did a good job with it. All right, so we have our third Aquars member. This is Daya. She is basically a better version of Lilaps. She has a 3-hit combo that she can use with her saber. And so we're going to be seeing a lot less of the funny dog now, but at least we have a better attack. Okay, here we can slide under this guy if we perfectly time our slides. Ooh,
unfortunately,
missed just one.
Yeah.
That is a very small amount of damage for that guy to do that. That's one enemy where if he high rolls you or crits you, it just does half of your health. It's pretty messed up. Also, we have so many materials. Do we already have 5 tide lights?
I believe we only have 3.
No, we definitely have more than 3 because you got a double from right when you died. You broke 2 pots and got 2 of them.
Oh, I was unaware of that. Maybe I do. Well, let's check then. Oh, I can make early Buster Sword. Oh,
wow. Okay, we're getting absurdly lucky actually. So, one thing that can happen in this game.
I'm not used to having Buster Sword this early.
Yeah. Basically, you really want to have Buster Sword before the boss of Shipwreck. That's this area that we're in. You want to make Buster Sword before that. And if you don't have the materials you need, you end up farming for them for a really long time, potentially. But we have our Buster Sword so early. This is very rare. It's probably gonna make traversing these warp rooms a little bit easier, to be honest.
This room has a very easy setup on 120 FPS. I don't think we mentioned 120 FPS and 60 FPS are coded differently for some reason. They're just different physics.
There are certain rooms where if you get perfect slide chains, you will make it underneath an enemy, but only on 120. If you're perfect on 60 FPS, the enemy will hit you. So literally, Yohane moves faster on the higher frame rate. I'm not sure why they decided to program it that way.
It's gonna grab the wall cling here. Pretty funny little upgrade. We're gonna use it a lot in a later stage. I'm pretty sure that's Joey's favorite area, Coral Hill. You'll see it soonish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so essentially we can climb up walls and also do a wall jump essentially with this new ability. Alright, so we're making our way to the end of the stage. This room can be a little tricky. Got these flying brain guys that can be really annoying. Yeah.
Got
with
the
Buster
lowest
Sword
roll.
though. With Buster Sword it's pretty easy. And we can skip by that fish guy because we already have our Buster Sword. We don't need Great X Fragments.
Give me that 80. I love high damage rolls.
Okay, so what you're supposed to do in this room, you're supposed to have a character we haven't unlocked yet, Ruby. She's supposed to shield us from these gold enemies who do a ton of damage. Luckily, though, we can damage boost past them thanks to Drywall made a fluffy coat earlier, which ups our defense by a lot. So
And
we're able
also
to
the
just get past
potions I
that.
bought helps a lot.
Yep, true.
Don't use that, buddy. Almost used another one by accident.
Yeah. Okay, the way this boss works is we can only progress the fight in this phase when he's in his core phase. So we want to make sure we're doing as much damage as we can in that phase specifically, which is why Drywall held off on using his talisman.
Not a
Ooh,
2
close.
cycle, unfortunately. Very close.
Yeah, you usually want to get at least 1 crit in order to 2 cycle this guy.
Not close at all, unfortunately. Oh well. Not that big a deal.
Yeah.
So when we're talking crits, what kind of percentage are we talking? Is this like a 1 in 8, a 1 in 16? Does it change over time? Like how rare is getting that quick crit?
Okay, good question. We don't know anything because nobody plays this game, so we don't have much data mining or anything.
I don't know about the crit rates, no.
It's unfortunate.
Quite rare.
You mean you've never sat in a corner and just hit something 200 times and see how many crits you got?
Maybe I
You might need to
should.
do that.
I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's a horrible afternoon.
They are pretty rare though. That's why we do want to get the analytic spectacles if we can.
Unfortunately, did not get those. They are the ones that boost crit rate, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is it okay?
Scary. Yeah, let's just
I play it
these
safe
guys.
here.
yeah, ideally you would damage boost through that, but it is very scary in this circumstance because we go directly from that boss fight to this area. So we're already low on health as it is. Yep. So we just did the very first part of Sea of Trees there. All we did was make it to the save room that will allow us to warp back there later. So we're going to go off and upgrade some characters. So each of the Aquas members has a side quest that you can complete. You find an item located somewhere in the dungeon, and then you return to the parlor to bring it back to them, and it will give them a secondary power. In the case of Hanamaru, which is the character that we just unlocked, it's the laptop. So we find the laptop in the dungeon, we bring it back to her, and basically this unlocks the most broken ability in the game that we're going to be using on this boss fight coming up. It just does a ton of damage.
Now you may be asking, how could a laptop do that? Don't worry about it.
You'll see.
It'll happen soon enough.
Yep, so we're back in Sunken Volcano. We're going to go to the boss here and finish that up. This is definitely, maybe not the scariest boss in the game, but close to it. It's the one that can go the most wrong, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There is a quick kill you could get, but it's like a 1 in 3 that he does the attack where you can quick kill, and then you have to execute it. So
Yeah,
unlikely, but not impossible.
they thought to themselves, you know what, this game doesn't have enough RNG in it, so let's make this boss like a 1 in 3 chance of getting a quick kill. Pretty cool.
That is how you know. Okay, I am not switched to Hanamaru for some reason. Let's rectify that. I didn't have enough money.
Talisman.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's right.
It's fine.
This will just take a
get the quick
little
kills,
longer.
Smough.
You'll be fine.
Nah, not the pattern. But yeah, you
Yeah,
can
so-
explode Hanamaru's laptop. It does a ton of damage.
Yep. So basically you spawn it in the air and then you hit it with the Buster Sword out of the air to detonate it. And when it crits, it does like 1,300 sometimes?
Yeah, with
Something insane.
with the talisman, unfortunately, it can only do 1,000 without the talisman.
Oh, true. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't even mention. So the green bar, nice. That went pretty well. The green bar underneath the HP is your darkness meter, and it depletes whenever you use abilities. And then when it's down to 0, when you use abilities, it's going to start draining from your health all the way down to 1 HP. And that basically means that every boss fight from here on out is going to be very scary, because the fastest way to deal with pretty much all of them is to spam abilities, and that's going to drain us all the way down to 1 health, and it basically means that we need to play the boss fights perfectly if we don't want to die.
Yay!
But Drywall's got this.
I love how after you killed the boss, the character flips her hair back and she goes, whew. I feel like that's how I feel when I beat a boss. It's just like a deep sigh, like, okay, it's over.
I'm not sure if we've seen the alternative reaction there, where you can beat a boss, she's so satisfied, she's gonna say no problemo, except she kind of forgot the L. So she does say no problemo. They have not patched this out of the game since release.
No problemo.
I mean, certain things, once they become canon, such as not knowing Spanish, it's better to leave it in, I think.
So true.
It's like those Castlevania typos and mistranslations. Like, they're iconic. You can't change it.
Yeah. It's funny because before this game released, there was a demo version of it, and it had the same typo, and I was like, surely by the time they fully release the game, this will be fixed, and then it wasn't. Maybe they just genuinely think that's how you say it.
Imagine they release like a 10 kilobyte patch on Steam tomorrow. It just changes one letter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's definitely the thing in this game that needs the most fixing.
Okay, this is the room that's my enemy in marathons, by the way. Every single marathon I do this on, I kind of get a little owned. But it's okay.
This could be a scary section because you get poisoned. He has defense down as well.
Chat says, what is a man but a miserable pile of no problemo?
True.
So true.
I think we're getting the YouTube title right now. I think it's gonna be no problemo.
Nice.
All right, we got through that warp segment. Very nice. And now we're gonna go and upgrade Daya here. So
Also gonna do some shopping.
true. Yeah. So yeah, we have Daya's upgrade, which
I'm
is
broke.
not as powerful. I'm broke. No. All right, we got a little bit of stuff. It's fine. We'll work with it. Yeah, Daya's upgrade is the motorcycle, which is like a full screen attack. It's not as powerful as the laptop, but the cooldown on it is way faster, so we're able to spam it more, and we use it for some of the bosses.
It can also break boxes, as you can see, which I'm doing because I want money because I'm broke.
Okay, so we have talismans again. We're able to power up for this one. So yeah, you can see that green meter's already almost empty because we keep spamming the attack. Now that it's gone, it's gonna drain from our health, which means from this point forward, we really don't want to be taking any damage from anything. Dodge these missiles. Luckily, he does the same order of attacks here. Drywall knows to jump into the air after this. Dodge that. Very good.
A little stressful, but we're okay.
But what kind of like a world or a universe are we looking at? Because I'm seeing like biomechanical stuff. I've seen floaty brains. I've seen us on a ghost ship. Like, what is kind of the universe like that we're in right now? Is there any overarching theme or plot or anything we should be paying attention to?
Okay, first off, this is a spin-off of a series about idols. Like, these are girls that sing and dance. And in this game, they have been trapped in an undersea dungeon.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, so there was a spin-off series that was like supposed to be more fantasy oriented because Yohane, the protagonist, is kind of She's a chunibu, if you're familiar with the term. It means middle school syndrome. Like, she's constantly in her own world and is like obsessed with dark magic and stuff. So they made a spin-off series where like it takes place in a fantasy world, and it's like her interpretation of reality, I guess. And basically the other members of Aquars are like trapped in a dungeon, and she has to save them within this fantasy world.
Well, before
Don't
you
mind
think
me
this
getting
is
owned
too,
by that tiny squid.
before you think this is too strange, remember Pac-Man officially canonically has a Metroidvania now, so these things do happen.
I was unaware of
Yeah.
that.
It's true.
This is just
called,
one of those.
Shadow Labyrinth, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is just one of those games that
Yo.
I still can't believe exists.
That enemy was perfection.
Oh, the sushi.
Yeah, was that an egg roll sushi there, or I don't know. That was incredible.
Yeah, they have like the egg roll, they have regular shrimp kind. You love to see the.
There's like 2 rooms in the game that have sushi enemies that jump at you. It's very strange. They show up nowhere else. Okay.
Oh yeah,
so
we forgot to mention Yo, didn't we? Oops.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, she shoots us out of a cannon.
Yeah. Basically, you're locked horizontally, but you move very fast. So if we're able to position our shots really well, like in this instance, you can shoot right through gaps. And
Yeah, that was not intentional.
yeah, a lot of long hallways now. What we're trying to do is like jump at the perfect height and then use a cannon shot to shoot all the way to the end. So this area is Coral Hill. The reason it's my favorite in the game is because it's the only area in any percent that doesn't have a warp segment, so no RNG, it's just pure movement. And we have like all different kinds of movement options now. We have our double jump, we have our wall jump, we have Yo. So it's just a really cool area to speedrun. And we are almost to the end of this stage.
Not quite, but better than getting silenced. I'm still gonna take the checkpoint though.
Well, I just did some quick conversions because I saw you picked up 750 yen, which is about $5 US. So you were picking up a few bills here and there, but fundamentally, the stuff in the game pretty affordable in this economy.
We haven't gotten to the big talisman yet. Actually, I'll save that. But in general, stuff is pretty affordable so far.
Most stuff, yeah.
I mean, you do have a motorcycle, so you're doing okay.
Yeah, and a giant sword. Actually doing pretty well for ourselves, all things considered.
Okay, I'm alive.
Okay, we're good.
I'm glad I'm alive. I just don't know how I'm alive.
There we go. Cool. All right, we're not completely out of the woods yet, though. So we took a lot of damage in that fight because we're spamming attacks once again. But we don't have a save point coming up for a little bit here, so we have to be very careful. Okay.
Yeah, I'm warping
the
back
safety
since
one.
I got this save point.
Yeah.
It's just
honestly,
I'm on low HP and I'm coming up on some more of those gold cannon guys that hit you for 1,000 damage.
Yeah, no, that's a very fair safety save. All right, so we unlocked Ruby. We won't be seeing her though.
No, sorry, Ruby.
Yeah. She's one of 2 characters that are completely useless at any percent. Like I said, there was the one section with the gold cannons where we were supposed to have her, but we did a sequence break, so
Someone
she's not
is
even
saying
useful.
apparently Dia is the president in this universe.
Not
That
quite,
is-
but close enough. She's the chief officer of like some company, I think, but close enough.
Same thing. Close enough. Yeah. It's been a while since I saw the anime, but I think she just basically makes Yohane do chores around the town, essentially.
Yeah, I would like to mention Me and Freefall, we are big Love Life fans. We are not so much big, specifically the spin-off fans, but we are fans of the group this spin-off is based on.
It was okay. I'm just happy it led to this game being a thing. Like, that's cool.
Hey Joey, who's your favorite Aqua member?
Mine's gotta be Hanamaru. How about you, Drywall?
Chika Takami. If anybody else has a favorite member, please let me know. I love knowing people's information.
That didn't sound creepy at all.
You sound like a data broker. Like, I need people's personal information.
You would like
Don't
to put
worry
your
about it.
social security number next to your favorite character. Please don't do that, chat.
Yeah,
Don't
you don't have to do that part.
Pro Piece says Yohane based.
It is pretty based.
Most of Aqua's is very good.
Wow,
one of
lots of
those
Yohane
locals.
fans today.
We've got one John fan.
That is Yohane, but her name gets transliterated to that by accident, so sometimes we just call her John.
See, I've spent this entire time thinking that was you.
No, my name isn't John.
That's awesome.
That's humorous.
Pretty good warp segment.
A
We only
Dia
have-
fans based?
One more of those. Surely we have one Dio fan. Oh, we do. Yeah. We got two.
We got Yulis Mario Hara fan. That is how you know.
We're on our way to unlocking Mario Hara, but we're not going to see her. Very unfortunate.
Sorry, Mari. Oh, I didn't get the triple kill. Sad. Thought
Yeah,
I
if you move really fast through this room, you can get all three of those guys with one bike. But it's pretty tricky. Scariest room in the game.
True. I regret to inform you that Tang KK is not a member of Aqua, but we'll take it.
We'll take it. Okay, so we're coming up on the fortune teller boss. If anyone here has played Love Live School Idol Festival, the old mobile game, this is actually a reference to that. It has like the different notes.
Yeah, in that semicircle. Rest in peace, we miss you.
Yeah, I don't know why they killed off that game. It's messed up. So yeah, we're using an offense talisman. We're spamming attacks. It goes down pretty easily.
Yeah, that was very fast for that fight. I'm glad. And that is the last member that we're rescuing coming up here. Mario Hara, my goat, my second most favorite goat. Not my goatest goat, but my second goat.
I love that
you
she's
will.
on the screen in this run for a total of like 3 frames. Pretty awesome. Okay, so we've now rescued all 8 members of Ahorse, and now we are able to access the final area of the game. So kind of Super Metroid style. We're back to the first area of the game. We go off this other path, this fork in the road that leads us to this mysterious room that we come back to once we're ready to finish the game up. So now we're in Infernal Altar, and this is going to be the final, at least, what should I say, platforming area of the game. Oh cool, we have one Orichalcum already, so I was just about to mention. Oh wow.
You love to see it.
Okay,
Still taking
whenever
the
you
check.
go, yeah, whenever you go through Infernal Altar, you're looking for 2 Orichalcums, which are a rare drop. When you get them, you're able to craft the Hot-Blooded Bell, which is it's an equip that, what does it do?
It doubles damage taken and received.
Right. So we're going to be able to do double damage when we have that equipped. But it also means that we're going to take double damage. So the boss rush that's coming up at the end of the game is going to be very harrowing for that reason.
Normally I'd be breaking these pots for orichalcums, but I am very broke, as I noticed earlier. So I'd just like some money at this point. But I might have to money grind at the end a little bit. Don't worry, they have a room specifically for that.
It's cool we didn't have to do any grinding at all in this run. That is very rare. Just for GDQ, no grinding.
It's true.
Jarwell timed that cannon shot perfectly there. You have to go when the freeze things are turned off. They're on a cycle.
I do have fluffy coat, so it wouldn't be the worst if I got hit, but it would still knock me down and be slow. You could try to go for a cycle skipping this freezer jet here, but I'm a little scared. Because like as soon as it comes out, you can get hit by it.
Yeah, if you get frozen by that one in particular too, that crystal comes down and crushes you and sends you back to the beginning of the room. So definitely worth waiting that one out. Okay, this room is really cool. So the second part of it has poison underneath you the entire time, and it deals toxic to you if you fall in, which will it will hit you until you're dead. It doesn't wear off at all. So we use really precise cannon shots to avoid doing that. And
no!
We're able to,
I got silenced. That's not great. Okay, so we'll be here for a little bit. I got punished. My goat.
God. Okay, we're good. We're good.
My goat, the isopod saved me there.
Yeah, he took damage on the enemy, so he didn't get toxic. That was really scary. But yeah, Drywall got hit by that black smoke there, which silences you, which means you can't use any abilities for a good like 20 seconds or so. So we had to just wait that one out. Luckily, we didn't get toxic. That's what's really important. So this is the final warp segment of the game, and they really saved some of the hardest rooms for last. You gotta be very careful in these. We're out of DP, so every time we use an ability, we're gonna lose health. Gotta be very careful. Oops. So for this one, we just go down, activate those switches to the wall, come back up. Very good.
Chad says you got hit by the plot of The Little Mermaid.
We did get... Yeah, that's true.
Chad is on the ball today, I will say. We have some good chatters.
You love to see it. Oh, I just got toxic.
Oh.
But I'm at here.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm at,
are you gonna make it?
I
think you're fine.
Yeah, I make it.
Luckily the save point's right here, so we're good. But that is very scary. All right.
I didn't check my money here. I hope I have enough money. If not, I'll just go back and grind on those 2 pots because they always give money. But I just wanted to get out of there before I got toxic to death.
Yeah, we're heading into the end game here, so because we lost our score, we're going to have to buy a lot more items than we would otherwise have to, just to make sure we're safe for the rest of this.
Okay, so 10,000 yen, which was that large offensive talisman, is $67.
That's so many.
Cheaper than I thought.
Oh, I got the specs last minute too. Nice.
Oh, let's go. These are perfect equips for this. Okay. This boss can be a bit scary. So you deal a bunch of damage to him. We have so many buffs right now. We have Hot-Blooded Bell, we have Analytic Spectacles, we have the Offense Talisman on. So we're dealing a ton of damage to him, and he goes down super fast. The scary thing about this guy, though, is that he goes into the floor right before you kill him, and he moves around randomly. And if you finish him off right when he's like directly underneath you, he will pop up and hit you when he comes out of the ground. And that can kill you a lot of the time, so you have to be really careful about that. This is the final area of the game, the fabled boss rush that we've been talking about this whole time. We're going to try to do this. We're going to try to do all of these in one go here. And Drywall's bought a ton of items to help heal up. And because we have all these buffs and all these abilities, you're going to see them go down very, very quickly.
Have they scaled up at all, or does that fish still sit at the level 1 or whatever it was when we first saw them?
Yeah, no, they don't scale up.
Okay.
They have the same amount of HP as original.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were just like super strong now, or if they were, still originally where they were, or apparently
Well,
both.
yeah.
Combination, yeah. So yeah, we're out of DP now. We're gonna start losing health, so we gotta be careful about every hit we take. Coming up, we're gonna be fighting the lava worm boss again, and if you were to have kept your music score the entire time, that's where you would take your intentional death. But since we lost it, we gotta play it a little bit differently. We're gonna be switching to the laptop for this one, just like how we did in Sunken Volcano.
I got the crit there. I'm really glad about that.
Around 1 HP, you gotta be really careful.
Don't matter to me.
Nice.
Just get lucky.
Just get lucky. Nice. Crit for good measure. Couple more here. I think next is the Sea of Trees one, right?
Well, we get to see
Mari's on
Mari because I
screen.
mismenued.
Or now we got Coral Hill.
It should be it. Yeah.
Nice. It literally can't take any hits. Do you have potions, or are you
I
saving
have one
them?
potion. Smile.
Okay.
You're apparently
Just
on the
don't
right
get-
show for this. It's called Perilous Paths for a reason. We don't even need a health bar.
Yeah.
So true.
Okay, so same deal as before. He does the same order of attacks, so we can anticipate them. Okay, missed slide chain there would have been really bad. All right, good job.
Don't worry about it. Surely I'll be
This,
fine.
this guy's the GOAT. I don't know what to say.
Okay, but this fight's actually easy.
Yeah, this one ideally goes down before he has a chance to teleport.
Oops. Oh well.
All right.
Wow. Low damage
Terrible
rolls.
yeah. All right. And the refight of the boss that we just saw, same thing applies. We need to be very careful when he goes into the ground.
I did not save a talisman here. I used it on the lava worm because I was scared.
Okay.
So it might take a little longer to kill him.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not
Okay.
too pressed.
We'll wait it out. Yeah. This should
There
be
we
good.
go.
Yep. Nice. All right, we're through the boss rush. We just have the final boss left here. So the 10,000 yen item that Drywall bought was a prime offense talisman, and we're saving that one for the final boss. And we're gonna use the laptop, so it should go very, very quick. There's two phases to this fight. The first one, not too bad. The second one, you want to get lucky with your damage rolls and kill him in about like 2 or 3 hits, because otherwise he can get like his super off, and it's a little scary. So here we're gonna react to which way he goes. We're gonna
I
spawn
reacted
the laptop.
wrong. Oh, he didn't open his mouth. Oh no.
Okay, so we can only hit the hand inside of his mouth. Don't ask. There we go. All right, time might be coming up here, depending on how lucky we get. Oh, barely. Okay, we just gotta survive the super and then hit him one more time, I think.
Thankfully, the super is like super easy. Get it? Get it?
Nice.
And oh, he's not dead. Oh no.
Okay, we got him here. We got him here.
Okay, time. Like actually time. That was really scary because I got such bad rolls.
Nice. That felt like a pretty good run. That's good.
Yeah, about 50 and a half if you're curious, 50, 40-ish.
Okay, that's better than I was expecting. I was a little scared.
It's almost sub 50. Very nice.
Do we have any fun credits or anything to look forward to here? I see a cutscene.
I believe I should probably skip the credits since it is a song from an album. So
Okay.
I don't want.
That's fair.
I don't want
want
you guys to get in trouble. So I'll just skip it.
That's
It
fair.
is a good song, though.
Yeah.
Well, as we go back to the title screen and look at all of our lovely companions that I think we unlocked all of them during the course of the game.
We do. Yes.
Why don't we take a quick
We
minute?
don't use all of them, but we do unlock them.
And the mascot, the friendly dog thing. Why don't we take a quick minute, tell all the wonderful people where they can find you, any information about you, if you have a Discord, any shout outs for the community or runners or anything like that. The next couple of minutes is yours.
Sure. I'm Drywall. Unfortunately, my username on Twitch is DRYWAIL because the person whose username is Drywall is unfortunately inactive and I can't have it. But I speedrun this game alongside most of the GameCube era games for Sonic, like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 2, stuff like that. And shout out to Yohane community and shout out to Joey also. What are your shout outs, bud?
I go by Joey Freefall on Twitch and Twitter. So that's Joey Freefall, no spaces. And I primarily run Sonic Heroes with a few other things occasionally, but mostly Sonic Heroes.
Awesome.
And if you're interested in running this game, check out the SRC page. I believe our Discord is linked in the resources.
It is,
on
yes.
There. Yeah.
There's plenty of us. Well, there's not plenty of us. People run this game. Please run this game if you have any interest.
Very small community, but a lot of people are passionate about it. So a lot of us are. So we will definitely help you out. You should try it if you're thinking about it. It's very cool.
Well, thank you both so much for showcasing that. That was an amazing run. Since we do have the artwork showing all of our friendly characters here, it's a good time to mention that Frame Fatales, which is GDQ's all-women and femme speedrunning community, is preparing for its next event, Flame Fatales, which will be running from September 7th to 14th, and the schedule is now live at gamesdonequick.com/schedule/58. So type FF, FF, in the chat for information on how to join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Frame Fatales. We still have another run coming up, so we're going to take a quick break to get set up for Death's Gambit Afterlife with Spicy Paladin. Again, thank you both so much for being here and showcasing that, but everyone stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. As always, my name is Cutie, and we are in the middle of an incredible episode featuring indie Metroidvania type games. Now, before we get to the next run, I do want to make one last call that this is the last chance to pick up our newest Hotfix t-shirts, so make sure you grab your limited edition Coop mascot shirts by Monday, August 18th. That's 1 week from today, before they're gone for good. I have both of them. They are incredible. The newest one is very metal themed, so you might have seen it at the main event. It's fantastic. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. But we do also have a Hotfix keychain, sticker pack, and some other things. Those are at the Yeti, YETEE.com/GDQ. Definitely check those out. But now we are moving into our last run of Perilous Paths. Not the last run for the evening. We still have Awfully Silly after this. Don't get me wrong. The last run for Perilous Paths today, which is Death's Gambit, Afterlife, any percent, NDC, no major glitches, estimate of 1 hour with Spicy Paladin and Slim is Who is Dirty. How are you doing today, both of you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us. As mentioned, my name is Spicy Paladin. I am just absolutely thrilled and honored to be providing the GDQ debut of Death's Gambit Afterlife. an indie Metroidvania that came out several years back, and I am thrilled to be joined by my wonderful friend and excellent commentator, Slim Who's Jerkhead.
Hello, thanks for having us. I'm Slim. I am not a speedrunner, but I'm pretty familiar with this game. I've played through it quite a few times, so I'm going to provide some commentary that is hopefully insightful and give Spicy the opportunity to focus up and get a speedrun in.
And
We're going to do the best we can.
And I mentioned this at the top of the show, but this is a game that I've had on my list for a while. I actually have it installed on my computer waiting to be played. It's in the backlog. But I do know that this is the Afterlife version, which is kind of a updated patch or a re-release. So before we get too far into the game, do you want to talk about any history around Death's Gambit, how it started and how we have moved into Afterlife since then? Or, not worry about it too much?
I'll give you the very short version of it. Death's Gambit came out, and it was not well received. And then they produced the Afterlife kind of edition, and that really changed the whole game. I personally didn't have any experience with Death's Gambit before it became Afterlife, but from what I've gotten into since getting into the speedrun and being familiar with the game, I know that it added a bunch of endings, a bunch of bosses, a bunch of sections. They're apples and oranges, completely different game. So we are here kicking it off with Afterlife, and I honestly don't even know what you would have to go through to gain access to the not Afterlife version. It's not even really around anymore.
Okay, so this is let's call it the definitive edition, for lack of a better term.
That sounds about right.
Whenever you're ready, give us a 3, 2, 1. We'll kick it off. I'm excited.
All right, let's give it a shot and hopefully catapult this game to the top of your backlog there. We'll go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
So we got a little Thank you. So we got an intro sequence here. So as Spicy said, it's a Metroidvania. I just wanted to add to that. It's also considered a 2D Souls-like just for its difficulty and some of the combat mechanics. So it relies heavily on dodging, blocking, parrying. It also has some action RPG elements, so he'll be boosting up different attributes and level ups kind of as we go. As we go in here, we're going to go into our character creation first. So he's going to pick his class. There are 7 total classes. Each one has its own unique ability tree. Well, first he's going to skip his scene here. And we're going to go with the Sentinel. That gives us access to the Great Hammer skill tree later in the run that we'll use. Then also you get to start with a starting item or memento. And so he's going to pick the crystal bombs that do a pretty decent amount of damage, especially in early game, that he's going to use to pretty much trivialize the first 2 bosses. So we skip this intro scene and land in Vados. And this is our buddy Vrail. We actually do befriend this guy later, but we're going to attack him. And the reason for that is there are cutscenes later that involve him. And if he's not alive anymore, those cutscenes don't happen. So it's purely just a time skip here.
Hey, it wouldn't be a Souls-like if you didn't kill an NPC. You don't have to.
Right.
Exactly.
And then he drops these plumes, these phoenix plumes. So that's the primary healing item in the game. It is a consumable that you can replenish at death save idols. And this is Death.
Death is our homie.
So story-wise...
I was just going to say, Death is our homie throughout the game. He's actually voice acted by Matthew Mercer, who you probably recognize as being in a bunch of stuff. I love him in everything that he's in. And also as a Daggerheart and Dungeons & Dragons player and game master myself, Matt Mercer is kind of my spirit animal, so shout out to Matt Mercer.
Then story-wise, before the game even started, the main character, Soren, actually dies kind of in the game intro. And then kind of the first thing that happens is Death resurrects him, and now we are in service to Death. He wants us to go to a place called Kaer Shirai and destroy a source of immortality that others are using to avoid death. So we sign a contract with him, and in service, if we die, he will resurrect us. Struggling here. At the nearest death idol statue, which hopefully you won't see that happen at all on this run. And this is the area we refer to as Tutorial Island. We got to hit these 3 buttons to open this first door. We're going to stop off at the Death Idol statue. So he goes to augment his plumes. So those are normally your healing items. You can actually augment your attack. So each plume that you dump into your attack does an extra 5% damage at the trade-off of you don't have access to use that plume to heal. So he dumps all 3 plumes into his weapon, so he'll do an extra 15% damage, 5% for each plume. So we'll start off there, and he'll get some extra plumes later that he can use if he needs to do a safety heal. Then as we go to this first area, so you see these enemies, there's a lot of hazards on the map, and then Phoenix Fire. So all those enemies taken out, we actually do get the essence or experience for those, but it also creates a hazard for kind of getting through this part of the map. So he takes out that guy, hits the switch to drop. There's another Phoenix Plume right there, so now he has 1 if he needs an emergency heal. He'll go over and grab these crystal bombs. Like I said, it's a pretty high damage item, especially early on, and it's introducing our first boss, Ione. And you see our health bar, how much damage these things do. So it pretty much trivializes these first 2. He does the perfect parry, gets the counter off, and that's it. First boss down.
I'm really glad she cooperated. She can jump around and lose a lot of time, so I'm happy that she cooperated there.
Yep, she's going to drop an item here. You do have to pick it up to open these doors to leave the area, but also picking up the item triggers a cutscene. So we'll kind of have to run through this as fast as we can.
Good story, but we don't have time for it today.
It's actually right now reminding me a little bit of Dante's Inferno in the sense that Dante starts off, he's like a soldier in the Crusades. He dies, meets death, takes death's sigh, so not a contract, but he kills death. I'm getting kind of similar vibes here between the two.
I hear that, absolutely.
Could see that.
Describing a little bit of ending
boss.
Oh.
Foreshadowing.
We hit the second button for that lock, and then we're going to now go over and find the third.
Well, speaking of endings, that's a good question for what are the requirements for hitting ending C? Are we doing a specific side quest? Are we picking up stuff? Obviously, Soulslikes, like a Bloodborne or something. There's all kinds of stuff you have to do to get to certain endings. Is this the easiest ending, the hardest ending? Can you kind of set the stage for us?
I can take care of that if you need to focus, Spicy. But this is probably the most straightforward ending in the sense that you can get through the game, get through the bosses. You don't have to do anything special, and then this is the ending you get, ending C. In order to get endings A or B, you have to re-challenge some of these bosses in heroic mode, so you'll kind of fight a beefed up version of them. You have to do at least 5 heroic bosses, and you have to get a stat called your will under 100. And that would be to get ending A. You can do ending B if the will is over 100, and there's ways you can kind of manipulate how that stat ends up. So those are the 2. And actually, there is a bad ending that we already passed up. So while we fought our buddy immediately, if we would have just went 1 screen to the left, that accesses the bad ending, and you just get executed for abandoning your post.
Don't go that way.
So the speed run for that one is probably about 8 seconds.
Ending A is actually my preferred ending of the game because it reveals the true antagonist. There's some fourth wall breaking. It's really great. So maybe we'll get a chance to run that on another day.
Oh, and that was our Horsey. Bye, Horsey.
Yeah, that was all. We're going to ride Horsey, so I hope you enjoyed him.
So this is Owl King. We're going to use crystal bombs. And that was Owl King.
Yeah, he can be a fairly interesting boss. It's just faster if you feed him a bunch of bombs. So that's what we're going to do.
Yep, so he drops down a new ability for air dash. This will be our primary way of getting around the map.
Now I no longer have to do...
Very, very fast.
I no longer have to do my impression of Link and Ocarina of Time and just somersault everywhere. We can now air dash and get places. And I always do appreciate a game that provides you a beautiful title sequence after you've killed the second boss.
And this is where you know it kind of, I'm assuming this is Firelink Shrine, essentially. Like now it's showing you can go a lot of different ways. This is, we're expanding the world. You have a lot to look forward to. You've only just cleared the tutorial,
basically. Exactly.
Yep, and this is Central Sanctuary. This is our central hub of the game. So there's shopping here. There's other characters we can interact. It should be non-combatives, but you'll see we're going to do a couple things here to save time down the road. But he's going to go out of his way first to kind of jump up this ladder and come back for an ability. So these blue books, you can learn abilities. So this bear trap ability we'll use, you can set that trap, and if an enemy steps into it, it does a bunch of damage. But he can set those down ahead of time and essentially walk a boss right into it. We're taking out this guy for reasons. Just to get the Zealot's Cape. That'll add a few stat points to his vitality. And then he'll stop off here and buy Crow's Feathers and the Great Hammer. So we like the Great Hammer for this run. Weapons in this game will scale with certain attributes, and the Great Hammer scales with Vitality, and Vitality will also boost our health pool. So it adds a nice little double whammy effect for this run. The other thing he bought was Crow's Feather. So that item will take you back to your last save point. And so Spicy can kind of manipulate when he's going to travel back and choose which save points to access, so he can jump back around the map when he needs to. And then again, he'll augment his damage, putting the plumes into it. There's his level up, dumps a bunch of essence into Vitality, and now we're good to go. And then this guy up here can be a problem. So we're going to take him out. Normally we don't need to, but he can actually start killing off people in our camp, including the shopkeep. And if we need to do some shopping later in the game, it might not be there anymore. So just as a safety, we take him out before leaving.
And we have some questions in chat around the version and console. I know that on Speedrun, the record you have is on PS4. We're running on Switch today. There's also a PC version. Is there any difference between the versions, or which one you choose and why, or how we're doing that?
Just loading times. Switch is definitely the slowest way to play the game, but it's my preferred way to play the game just out of comfort. So we do world record attempts on PlayStation, but for comfort and for marathon safety, we do Switch. There are some glitchy problems with the PlayStation version too that make it a little less safe for a marathon setting.
Yep, I don't know if you saw it there. So before the boss even started, while he was monologuing, Spicy threw down 5 of the bear traps. So the first thing that happened is the boss took all the damage from all 5 of those traps. You just saw the health bar drop. And there goes Bulwark. One more. There it is.
I like how there's a countdown on the bottom of the screen. Reinforcements coming in 5, 4, 3.
And then right here,
bad guys just keep
he's going to
spawning.
cancel the contract with death. So if your contract is active, if you die, you do get respawned at the Death Idol statue. If you cancel the contract, that makes you mortal. There's a couple benefits for doing so, and one is there's an ability you can activate that gives you double essence or experience if you are mortal. And then there's a boss in a pretty big section of the game you can skip later, but only if you canceled your contract with death. And the trade-off of that is now permadeath is active.
Permadeath,
So let's not die.
The idea
you
is
would die and
let's
lose
not die.
everything and start from the beginning, or what are we talking here?
That is correct.
It will erase
So it's
our
like
save
Diablo
file.
hardcore mode.
Yep. And then we go out of our way for this guy. This is kind of the Ghost of Soren, is kind of a mirror match. This specifically is the one with the Great Hammer. So a couple reasons we go for him. One, we get the Steel Great Hammer +2, which is a bit of an upgrade for our main weapon. And we also get the Crushing Tide ability, which does a pretty significant amount of damage, but also stuns enemies and can interrupt the attack patterns of some even bosses. It's a really useful ability for the run. And then here, we're dropping down to the sewers just to go a little bit out of our way to buy a thing.
Yeah, quick shopping episode.
Yep, and I'll explain why in just a second. But I did want to add, if you play this game casually, definitely save at that Death Idol statue, because
Best character right there that I just bought that
The shopkeep has
from.
something
The
to say
best
about
character.
it if you save there. But he buys the Dark Empowerment Sigil, so that's a consumable item that'll allow him to temporarily do dark damage with his main weapon. And later in the run, we're going to enter an area that has 3 different locks that need to be hit with different elemental energies to pass them. So that will take care of our dark lock a little bit later on. And now we'll introduce Auriga, the next boss, and fight her on the next area.
We're going to see her take a shot at. Oh, man, she actually got me. That hasn't stunned me in a long time.
Yep. So she's a sniper. She's also pretty handy with a blade. And depending on her attack patterns, there we go. So when she swipes at you, he can do the perfect parry there, get the counter attack off. And at some point, she's going to jump into the background and start taking shots at him. So if you hide behind these statues, they'll kind of absorb that damage so you don't get hit. But we got to wait till she just takes her shots and then comes back on screen. And I just wanted to add, when Spicy's doing this quick menuing, it does not pause the game. So he could be getting hit during that. So you got to be very careful about when you're deciding to do your quick menuing, your level ups, all that.
I hate that I interrupted her right there, but
all right. And some of these statues can take multiple shots before they crumble, and others it's just one and done, and you got to keep it moving.
We try to get her off screen before that last shot, so instead of having to watch her teleport from the back, she just kind of teleports and makes it easier for me to catch her
and
like
see
that.
Here, she just went translucent, so later in the fight she can do that. She can also make little copies of herself to kind of distract you, so you got to find the real one.
Well, this is a choice.
There we go.
Hey,
And if she were to hit you, would that one shot you?
Just no, not at all. It's just damage we're trying to avoid. Speaking of damage, we're trying to avoid.
There's the block, and if you do a perfect block, that will also follow up with a counterattack automatically. So you have to hit the block button as the melee attack is coming in. And that's the parry, and she's down. You get a talent point for beating each boss. They have some dialogue before she says, hey, go look over there.
So this is the big reveal to where we're trying to go. The big fortress protected by lots of bad guys that we're going to have to get to.
This is Kaer Shirai. So drawbridge is up. We're going to have to find another way in, but this is the goal to get here. But since we can't, first, evil plotting.
Evil. Yeah, evil scheming
like
between
Ghost Rider
future
there.
bosses.
A little bit. You're not wrong.
She's 2 bosses from now.
We check in with Auriga one more time. She gives us the forbidden key. It tells us to go visit her homeworld, and this key will get us there. So she's going to mark it on the map, but we're going to go there a little bit later in the run. And then now he used his crow feather item. That'll take him all the way back to Central Sanctuary because he did not touch any save points or death idols on the way. So that's kind of a way he can jump back to where he needs to go next. Hits a quick level up. He's going to swap out his aura. So this aura is the haste aura, and it adds a little extra distance to his dash, helps him get around the map a little bit faster. And then he's going to quick menu kind of in between bosses to swap a more defensive-based aura for each boss.
We run right past Horsey because as much as we like Horsey, it's actually a little faster to just dash repeatedly. Skipping death idols here again because once we beat this boss, we want to use the crow feather again to go right back to Central Sanctuary. So that saves us time.
And if
walking.
you're under risk of permadeath, these idols won't help you, right?
Nope.
Yep. So here we got Forgotten Gaian, the next boss. And if you saw Ione there, that was the first boss of the game. She is teamed up with him, so she's going to be a problem. But the foot is the only thing vulnerable at first until he drops to a knee, and then you can do damage to the knee, which I hear might end your adventuring days if you're not careful.
Only if arrows, though. If you don't have any arrows.
Yeah, but down he goes. Nicely done. One cycle, it's what we want. As he drops.
For Gen Z out there, look it up.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Right.
My millennial is showing.
I feel like if you've been on the internet, you've
It
heard
gets a
that
new
joke.
ability. This is the crash down ability. So this does a few things for us. It's kind of a downward thrust, which can be used as an attack to do damage. It also opens up new paths in the game for us to explore and access items. And it's also faster than falling. So if we are need to get down from an area, it's faster to crash down than to just fall. So we're going to stop off at the shop. He's really happy that Bulwark is gone. Buy some more crystal bombs for the next boss, and then cruise right along.
It's almost a shame. The next boss is a lot of fun to fight. It is just significantly faster to buy a bunch of bombs and feed them to her. So that's what we're going to do. We're here to go fast.
Yep, so as he goes into this next area, you'll see this kind of white symbol on the ground. That indicates that it can be crashed down. So he crashes through it to grab these fire bombs. I mentioned earlier, there's an area we need to get to that has these elemental locks. Well, one of them is a fire lock. So that fire bomb takes care of that one for us. This area just has a lot of hazards, so we're gonna time these dodges real carefully as we cruise through here. Those horses can do a ton of damage and they will run you down. And here we go into Soul of the Phoenix. Here's your Ghost Rider.
And there's the chains.
Yep,
Yep,
so this attack,
Ghost Rider.
Yep. So this attack can draw you in. So he's just going to kind of run away until she jumps over in the corner, and then load her up with some crystal bombs. And once she gets about halfway, she turns blue, and then her attack pattern slightly changed. So we don't want her to get any more attacks off. And down. So as he's waiting for the next ability to drop, he gets his quick menuing.
I overmashed and used my healing item.
And as we're doing the skill trees, what are we upgrading there? Is that something for our weapon? Are we getting new abilities? Is there specific pathing we're doing for the skill tree? Anything like that?
So there's one that you can activate to do more damage, and most of the ones he's going to activate specifically are for the Great Hammer to either do more damage, make the abilities hit more. There's ways you can stack like kind of damage effects. That we'll see a little bit later on. And then the final one he'll activate before the end boss. If you stack one of the abilities, you'll get faster hammer swinging.
And you mentioned you get a skill point after each boss. Does that mean that there's no XP system, no other level up? It's only by progression?
So you get one ability point after beating each boss. Each enemy you destroyed, he's getting essence. Essence kind of the XP equivalent, and then every attribute level up requires a certain amount of essence to the next one. So when he's going to these death idol statues, he's just dumping all of his essence into vitality, which cranks up both his great hammer damage and his health pool.
Yeah, essence is both our experience and our currency. That's what we're using to buy stuff. That's what we're using to put into our level ups. So it just serves as both.
It's interesting you have a weapon that scales with your health without using your health as a resource. That's kind of a rarity in these games.
Tell me about it. And the trade-off for that is the hammer is traditionally pretty slow, but we utilize it in some ways that make it much more
So we're about to start the next boss here, Wraith King. So he's going to activate him to start, but notice he puts these bear traps down first. So then as soon as the boss spawns in, he's going to take all that damage. And then he does these overhead swings. If you see in the top right, his next air attack will increase by 5 times. He can kind of charge that up before the boss drops in. So it takes all the bear trap damage, and then he hits him with that first air jump or air attack, and he took the 5 times damage from that too. And this boss just has a huge hitbox when he swings. You just gotta be real careful. Hits that perfect block that does the follow-up counter attack. And another one. And down he goes. Nicely done.
Thank you.
So we'll get that
went well.
We'll get the next. You see
that.
in the top left, you just saw that him getting so much essence. He's up to 4,000 something.
Chat's got a good question. What scales with strength if it's not the hammer?
The great swords. Yeah, swords.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of different weapons in this game. You can play around with a lot of builds. The assassin is a kind of a fun build. It's finesse based. You get daggers. There's a lot of different things you can do here.
Hammers are the only weapon that scale with vitality. Everything else, like your traditional strengthy weapons like swords and great swords and axes, all of those are strength. And then there will be daggers and things that are faster that'll scale with finesse.
Yeah, so he uses that crash down to break through that barrier. We're going down into the burrow. Fun fact, there's a giant rabbit at the bottom of this, and we're unfortunately just not going to see him on this run. But when you play it casually, definitely go pay him a visit. You see also here the crash down symbol is there. That kind of retracts these little spikies we don't want to touch.
We got a big boss coming up
we
here.
have Kusith, the untamable beast, who is a bit dog-like.
Just a bit.
So this fight can be pretty tough traditionally. So you want to be really careful, or you get the option to pet him and just kind of get a pacifist win. That's it. So nicely done. So he drops a couple things from there. So we have the Sigil of Kaer Shirai. That's the first key we need to access the end game. He also drops an aura that gives us a 50% essence or experience boost with the trade-off that if we die, it will break. But we are not planning on dying today. And then he takes this portal to the next area. And we are going to see the elemental locks I was talking about. So he already switched to his fire bombs, takes out the fire lock, crystal bombs, takes out the lightning lock, switch to the dark sigil to take out that, and the way forward is open. And now we will go.
This is where things get spicy.
We got Amavaro's Observatory. I see what you did there. It's a pretty challenging area. We believe you're intended to come to this part of the game much later, but for the speedrun strat, it's better to do it now. So he's going to pop down to this hidden room to hit this switch, so we'll need to go up there eventually. Yeah, the enemies here can be pretty challenging. Not as many hazards as there are in other parts of the game, but he grabs the magical flower. He stops off to get these tomes. We didn't really touch on these, but every boss has 2 tomes you can access, and they do a couple things. They give a little bit of lore on the boss, so you can go into your menu and read up about them, but also each one gives you a 5% damage bonus against them. So he goes out of his way to get both books, so he'll now do 10% extra damage when we get to this boss. And then this area is a bit of a gauntlet. So he's got to defeat these kind of 4 enemies, and unfortunately each one will give him a debuff until he clears the area. So first one is down. You see in the top right, his healing effectiveness drops. Or no, sorry, is 70% max health for that one. Yep, there goes the second one.
There we go.
And then Alien from the Alien movies makes a little appearance. You can't convince me it's not what that is.
I will not argue with you.
You see the debuffs are stacking, so now each dash is taking out all his stamina. And then we just got one more guy we need to clear. And then that will clear the 4 debuffs from this area, also open the room to the next boss.
I'm going to do a bit of menuing here because this is about to get real interesting.
Yep, this is probably the most dangerous boss on the run, so he is going to focus up. But this is the Galaxy Mage Amavaro. He's just capable of doing a ton of damage really fast, so it's definitely the most dangerous part. So fortunately, it gets that perfect parry and the counter off. Your first parries and counters will actually heal you a bit, and after that, that's about it for each fight. So yeah, ideally he wants to get 3 in a row here, and then he'll kind of take off. Now he's in a quick menu to swap to the bow, so these blue orbs, if they're on a timer, if they detonate, they leave behind a bit of a streak that can cause damage, so it just makes it a little trickier to navigate the area. And then here we just gotta dodge roll right past these red lightning bolts, and we'll be all right.
That was such a cool animation. He was just pinwheeling around with lasers.
Yep. Yeah, but now the attack pattern's kind of the same, but now we have some meteors spawning in, so just a little extra hazard for the fight. He gets that perfect parry, gets his heal back with the counter. Nicely done. He's going to take off again, so rinse and repeat. Menu, get the bow, take those out. And then this one, we saw this attack before, but now he's going to change directions, just make it a little bit more tricky. But no problems there. More meteors. Yeah, if you miss the perfect parry, you want to switch to blocking when he starts doing this dash attack. Ooh, does a safety heal just because that got dicey real quick, but that's why he's the most dangerous boss on the run. And yeah, he swapped to his Leaf of Gaia items. We didn't get a chance to touch on that, but they heal a bit faster than the Phoenix Plumes. But they are a consumable that does not replenish. You only get a certain amount of them in the game, and there's no cooldown on it either. So the Phoenix Plume takes a second to activate, where the Leaf of Gaia is instant. And there's the win. So he drops the second Sigil of Kaer Shirai that we need to access the endgame, and hopefully it's all smooth sailing from here.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm happy to be here.
Stops off. So he Crow Feathers back to the Death Idol, stops off to dump more essence into boosting up his vitality, and then we're going to cruise along to the next spot. So there's another part where we need to crash down to access the part of the map. And we're going into Darkness Falls. So it's a bit of a dark area, and I don't know if you can see, but there's these translucent enemies. So they need to be hit with a Sunstone, which is a consumable item, before they can be attacked or take any damage. We're just going to cruise right by him and not worry about it. And then you'll see Ione's back here again, this time as an ally. So we're fighting the Dark Knight here, which is not Batman. She's going to fight with us for this. So story reasons, this is her father, the remnants of him. So she's here to help kind of put him to rest.
That is an awfully long timer in the bottom there. 2 minutes, over 2 minutes.
We're hoping he's gone way before then. Yeah.
We're not going to worry about
like,
that.
What happens if that does hit? Is that just an instant death? Like, you have to finish the fight before that?
You know, I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time since that's happened.
Runs and it didn't happen. But right here, he had to use the Crushing Tide to take out those 4 wizards. They will actually heal the boss, and they can take him all the way back up to full. So he kind of saves a Crushing Tide ability just to smack them all and make sure that that doesn't happen. And then the ability he drops gives you your 3rd skill tree. So you can pick an additional class to unlock the abilities there, which can be really helpful for a casual run, but there's nothing that we're going to use from another tree. And now we go into Garde Tomb. So if you remember Auriga, the sniper, this is her home world. So we use the key to access this area, but it's very different, stark contrast from what we've seen before, where everything is kind of medieval and castles, and now we're in this kind of technologically advanced area. And as he's going down this elevator, you see the crash down symbol is on the elevator. So with that a move, he can manipulate kind of how fast the thing is moving. So he's trying to dodge all these lightning hazards as he goes. And then here we just got to hit these 4 lights to access the next elevator.
Lots of elevators down in this area. And we'll definitely come all the way back up.
Skipping all those death idols, activate the bridges there to cruise right across. This, we have to stop and take him out just to open that door. That little green flashing doors won't open until he's down. A lot of hazards in this area. If you walk into those circles, some cannons will fire at you. He's going to stop and grab this energy shield on the way, so it's just a little bit of a shield upgrade. And yeah, a lot of hazards kind of on this map. He gets shot, got to dodge the lightning. That was actually pretty smooth. And then same thing here, another enemy's got to go to unlock the door to the right. And what'd you say about elevators? so quick.
Still going down.
Equip the new shield. And then he's going to set some traps just in case anybody shows up.
Foreshadowing.
I'll try my best.
And he's going to take such a long time to actually show up that we're going to use this opportunity to grab some abilities. Because as Slim mentioned, that does not pause the game, so we try to do it when we would have to wait anyway to not lose any time.
So this is Bi-Surge, the Lightning Lurker. So he is our next boss. We're not going to do the full fight right now, but he has come just give us a little trouble on the way. He drops down, takes all the damage from those bear traps we put before, and that'll do it for this part. He takes some swings just out of frustration, but we're not taking any damage from those, just standing in the middle.
Looks like they always had faith in your abilities. Wow.
Death laughs about how long that elevator is.
And not on a speed run.
Now, I did see in chat we've had some subs over the past hour or so. We've had a couple of raids today. So I do want to let everyone know, first off, thank you so much for supporting GDQ Hotfix, but do know that all your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, your bits, all of your contributions do help keep our shows running. So if you're enjoying the stream, do consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, access to chat during replays, and more. But you can also support the stream by sharing the GDQ channel with your friends, with your Discord. Like I said, we've had a couple of raids. Thank you so much for that. So I do want to just give a quick acknowledgement that every little bit does help, and we do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks
Very
so
much so.
We're going to take this elevator up to the actual Bi-Surge fight. So didn't have a chance to touch on this, but there's a gimmick in this area where you can change your polarity indicated by the red or blue. So the way it works is if both enemies are the same polarity or both blue, you'll do half damage to each other. If you're opposite polarities, one red, one blue, you'll do double damage to each other. And we can flip that at will just by doing the crash down. So he's going to start with the positive charge, blue polarity, to do more damage against Bi-Surge. And he already got his 5 bear traps down. So first thing that happens, he'll take all that damage. Or did he miss it? No, there it goes. And then that's the attack we want to watch out for. He does this big electric blast, can do a lot of damage, and it's a bit of a slow attack. So as long as you get that dodge timing down, it won't hit you. There it is again. Oh, takes a hit there. Unfortunate, but we're okay.
He's doing that a lot today.
All right. One more time, and that should just about do it. There he goes. And we're actually going to crow feather out just because he takes a minute to die and explode and all that, and we just don't have time for that. So he's gone. Defeating him opens this door, which, as we mentioned, we're not beating every boss in the game. We won't see them all today. We're just doing kind of the bare minimum we need to get to the ending. So some of them we need our 3 keys to get to Kaer Shirai, and some of them are just bosses that are in the way or we need their abilities on the way.
Well, speaking of that, this is the no major glitches category, right? So what is it exactly that we are avoiding as part of that? How would a glitched category maybe look a little different?
That's actually a great question. I can't speak. Yeah, I actually can't speak to any of the major glitches in this game.
As a speedrunner and enjoyer, I've always preferred glitchless runs to glitch runs. It's just my preference. So I did not learn any of the glitches for this run.
Well, for reference, I'm looking at the leaderboards. The glitched version of this run is only 30 seconds faster than your run, or at least the record holder for glitched is. So whatever it is, I don't know how major it is, but there's something.
Shout outs to Serena with that record, by the way, who helped me on my journey learning this run.
So yeah, we kind of skipped through that area, but there's a lot of hazards, enemies that can do status effects, so good thing we sped through it with no problems. This takes us to the Eldritch Council. So we saw these 4 gems in the beginning. Destroying each gem kind of summons an enemy. He has have to destroy all 4 of them before the Eldritch Inquisitor will come off her figurative high horse, or judicial stand, or whatever you want to call it. But kind of the worst thing we want to avoid, as you see, there's a lot of hazards in this fight, but she'll start spawning these red kind of Final Fantasy flan-like creatures, and if they hit you, they can do some really nasty status effects we just want to avoid. And the other thing, that blue orb, if that's slowly falling to the ground, it will cause a bit of an explosion if it hits the ground. So we want to kind of keep that in the air like a beach ball.
I was going to say the classic tapping the balloon up and down, right? Everyone?
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, and it explodes big. Like, you really don't want to get hit by it.
Practicing for this moment.
Exactly. And that's Eldritch Inquisitor. So she drops the 3rd key we need for Kaer Shirai, and now we can head to endgame.
So
Yeah, we're on our way to the final boss, by the way.
It says immortal defeated every time you beat a boss. So are they actually dying? And if so, is that because of your contract with death or something else? Or how does that work?
Well, technically, I guess none of these guys are dying because the source of immortality still exists. So we are defeating them on our journey to go ahead and destroy the source of immortality, which will then solve all that problem and they'll go to sleep forever. But for now, I believe lore-wise, we're defeating these immortals on our journey to complete the expedition and just destroy the source of immortality. So they're going to sleep.
They're getting off screen at least and dropping the things we need to collect.
One interesting thing Chad is saying, if you use a glitch, there is actually a cutscene specific to speedrunners where the game calls you out for being a speedrunner.
Oh, that's funny.
That actually got posted in the subreddit. When I posted that this game was coming, somebody posted that scene, and I had never seen it before. It's a little NSFW, but it is pretty funny, and I think it can only be found if you actually like mine the files of the game.
I love
computer.
Developers who embrace the speedrunning community. I've run a couple of games like The Last Faith where they use speedrunners and they just patch out everything that speedrunners do, and it's like a beta test for them. And then I've been with some communities like the developer of Frog Monster and some others where they really embrace the speedrunning community, add an in-game time or add different things like Bloodstained has done. So I appreciate when developers, really embrace the community and welcome us in and have little jokes like that and stuff, rather than just saying, "Oh, I'll patch the glitch that no one else will ever find," and then just to mess with like the 3 people speedrunning.
Right. We just did a pretty huge skip there real quick. We were supposed to see about a 3.5-minute unskippable cutscene. But fortunately, just as the screen fades out, we regain control for just long enough to use an item, which allows us to use a crow feather and just teleport back, and now he's gone. And then we take this dream shift ability, which is essentially your fast travel. We normally skip it on ending C, but it's just there for safety in case I botch this next part over and over and over and need to go buy some more crow feathers.
We also just passed that area where there would have been another boss back there and an extra part of the game, but because we canceled the contract with Death, we skip right through that. But I'll explain this so Spicy can focus up. So he's going to go up and hit this Death Idol, and then go down, grab the magical flower, crow feather back up, and here he's gonna reset.
Nope.
But
I didn't like
it's
that.
just a huge button mashing part to try to get to the top of the tower. So he's just gonna wait, reset. So hit the magical flower, crow feather up, and here's we're gonna button mash all the way up and skip this entire tower sequence. And nailed it. Perfect.
And we have you on camera giving yourself carpal tunnel for enjoyment.
Yeah, that's single least favorite part of the game right there, but it's what you do to go fast.
Gotta show him some love for that, chat. Right. Don't forget.
All right. Masterfully executed. Now we get stuck in here with this guy, just a little mini boss to open the door forward. Oh, those frogs do not play around. They will do a significant amount of damage. You encounter them a few points in the game. And then we're heading on the elevator up to the end. So he's going to activate his last few abilities he wants, swap his aura for a little bit extra vitality.
I mean, technically that's aura farming, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sure.
I'm not Gen Z. I don't even know if I can use that phrase, but...
It's all right. And this is the point in the game they kind of try to convince us that we might want to go back and fight the other bosses in their heroic mode to access other difficulties. But we are committed to C, ending C. Yes, excuse me, that's what I meant. Endings. We are committed to ending C, so that's what we're doing. So here is Endless, the last boss for the run. She can be pretty dangerous here, so she hits really hard and she's really fast. So he's going to do his best to not take any damage for this first phase, because you do get a free heal once you get through the first phase. There's a perfect block and the follow-up counter. And that's phase 1. So he gets the full heal, music picks up, and then we're going to jump right into phase 2.
That's music. We got to get a perfect block here to avoid a long attack sequence where we just have to wait.
There it is. Nice.
Got it.
Yeah, she goes off to the side of the screen, fires a bunch of lasers at you, and it just takes some time and can be hard to avoid. Yep.
It's slow.
Another perfect block with the follow-up counter. And that's phase 2. Nicely done. Here she's going to reveal her true identity. Yep.
Spoiler.
And then we go into the last kind of 3 parts. So these last 3, she has kind of a different emotion attached for each one. And you can actually pick when the fight starts. So if you need to kind of heal up in between, you do have some downtime. But he's going to kind of just seamlessly go into the next one. And now with his Great Hammer Haste active, the hammer swings much faster. That's 2, and you just have 1 left.
Feel the raging fire of light.
There we go.
Time is coming up here shortly. The second time I interact with the Source of Immortality, and I will call it out.
GG's.
And time.
Nice work, buddy.
Thank you very much. As I kind of mentioned in the beginning, we run on Switch, which is the slowest console to run because of loading times and things like that. And all of the record board times are in real time, not in-game time. So unfortunately, nobody's breaking any world records that I'm aware of on Switch. But I believe that Switch in-game time of 4016 was only about 20 seconds slower than my world record for in-game time.
I was going to say, you
I'm
warned
pretty
me
happy with
before the
that
show. You were like, oh, I think I'm going to come in underestimate at 50. And then you just, 44, less than 44 minutes, you just come in here and smash it. 43:50.
So how'd we do?
Nice work.
I'll take
Well,
it. I will take
We
it.
see this kind of...
I was going to say, while we're seeing this cutscene, if we want to take a few minutes to tell us more about where we can find you, more about the community, any shout outs. We mentioned Serena earlier. Anything that you want to talk about for the next couple of minutes, time is yours.
Thank you. Before I say anything about myself, I absolutely want to shout out the people who helped me get here. First to you, our wonderful host, Cutie. Thank you for the invitation. I am just thrilled to be here. Couldn't have been happier. Big shout outs to Slim, who is Dirte, for being my commentator. We had a different commentator set up who's also on the leaderboards, but he was unfortunately unable to make it. So I asked Slim, and he learned about everything there was to learn in this game in about 5 days. So huge shout outs to my boy Slim for hopping on and being my commentator. Big shout outs to Charmin King, Rizard, and Serena for helping me to learn this game. And to my wonderful wife, Crystal, for supporting me all the way from just watching GDQ and taking time off work to finally being on here. She's been here through it all. So big shout outs to her. And Slim, if you want to say anything yourself.
Oh, thanks so much for having us. This was a surreal experience. I didn't think I'd be able to be along for the ride, but it was really cool to be here. Happy to support my buddy. Great run, man.
Where can we find you?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for anybody. Thanks for anybody watching. I mean, we're both on Twitch. I think you know we have our D&D group on Spicy Paladin's Twitch. He games, posts a little bit more. I'm a little less active, but maybe I should get it going a bit. I was gonna actually do maybe a fast casual run so everyone can see just what a normal playthrough might look like. I think I did maybe around the 4-hour range yesterday, but.
And you mentioned you can find you at Slim, who is Dirte. You can find me at Spicy Paladin on Twitch and YouTube. I do a bit of speedrunning, a bit of casual gaming, but we do a bit more live D&Ding. So if there's any live D&D nerds out there, we're usually playing once a week. Come check us out. Check out our party, TNA, which definitely stands for Travelers and Adventurers.
I was going to say when I heard that.
And nothing else.
No, we are travelers and adventurers, and we are saving the world sometimes from each other.
Chat mentions that one of the devs for this game is now working on Deltarune, so a little bit of a crossover there.
Oh, cool.
Hey. All right. Much love for this game. It was free on Epic a little over a year ago, and that's when it kind of had a little bit of a resurgence, but I'm hoping with the opportunity to show it off here today, the more people who can come and discover this outstanding and, in my opinion, severely underrated game, the better. It's excellent. I have so much fun with it. I think it toes that line of difficult and accessible with regard to Metroidvanias and Soulslikes go. Could not recommend it highly enough. Ending C is great, but ending A is where it's at. Maybe
Funny
that's where
enough,
we can,
the Epic
try it again.
Store, when it was free, is how I have it. It's been on my desktop.
Oh, yeah.
But fun story. It is actually on
Told ya.
sale on Steam right now, 45% off, $11, and you can be playing through this. Not hashtag sponsored. Just letting people know
Right.
if you enjoyed this.
Nope.
If you enjoyed this, it is
Just come
available on sale for 15 hours, actually. So you have 15 hours to pick it up if you're interested. With that, that's going to be up for us here at Perilous Paths. So I want to first take a moment to thank everyone who has been on today. So of course, we've had Moonlight Pulse, 8-Bit Monster with DE Cosmic, we had Yohane with Drywall and Free For All, and obviously Spicy Paladin and Slim here. I also want to thank my producer Ray for all the hard work that they do behind the scenes. And we have, after this, don't go anywhere, we have another show, Awfully Silly, that's going up after this. And as I I didn't break the news. As I stated at the beginning of the show, Awfully Silly will be having its finale August 25th. That's in 2 weeks. And you can be a part of that finale by checking out the Awfully Silly, I'll put this into chat, poll, and they will be replaying and revisiting some of their best runs throughout their 4-year history. So if you want to be a part of that and to vote for that, go ahead and use the link in Twitch chat to make your voices heard. But with that, we are going to take a quick break to hand it over to Conception and Awfully Silly. I know there's a lot of amazing things coming up on that show, so don't go anywhere. We won't be right back, but Hotfix will be right back with some Awfully Silly.
Yep. Thanks again.